Chapter 51. The discussion of the Lin family juniors reached Lin Lan's ears, and she was so angry that her face turned white. For the first time in her life, she felt a sense of alienation from this family. Just because she, Lin Lan, was a mere collateral descendant, these fellow clan members were willing to believe fourth elder Lin Tonghong's lies and not her? Lin Lan, if you do not have concrete evidence today to prove that the formula for the blood-staunching elixir is your own, and that you did not steal it from fourth elder, kill yourself. After hearing Lin Tonghong's words, Patriarch Lin Zhuiyue's eyes flashed coldly as he spoke to Lin Lan. The bone-chilling voice reached Lin Lan's ears, and she realized that this patriarch of the Lin family, like the other Lin family juniors, had believed Lin Tonghong's lies. Is this kind of family really worth cherishing? No, it is because Patriarch does not know the truth, and that is why he misunderstands me. At this moment, it was as if two different voices rang out in Lin Lan's mind, lingering for a long time. Seeing Lin Lan so infuriated, Zhou Donghuang's expression turned cold, and he stared coldly at Lin Zhuiyue as he said in a low voice, Patriarch Lin, speaking so harshly before the results are out, isn't it a little inappropriate? The results are already very clear. Next, when Medicine Master Huang arrives, it will just be a formality. Lin Zhuiyue glanced at Zhou Donghuang and said nonchalantly. Just as Lin Zhuiyue finished speaking, a voice came from outside the crowd. Second Elder is back. Medicine Master Huang is here. The crowd parted once again to let Second Elder Lin Chonghuan enter. Accompanying Lin Chonghuan was a thin, short, and ordinary-looking middle-aged man. It was the intermediate-level medicine master of the Lin family, Huang Qishan. Medicine Master Huang. As soon as Huang Qishan arrived, the senior members of the Lin family, including Patriarch Lin Zhuiyue, greeted him warmly. Patriarch, who said that the formula for the blood-staunching elixir that fourth elder submitted to the family contained his own formula? Huang Qishan asked directly as soon as he arrived. Him. Lin Zhuiyue looked at Zhou Donghuang. When Huang Qishan's gaze landed on Zhou Donghuang, he was first stunned, then he frowned and shouted angrily, preposterous. Even I, Huang Qishan, as an intermediate-level apothecary, do not have the ability to formulate such a brilliant blood-staunching elixir. You, a little boy who looks to be only 16 or 17 years old, dare to talk nonsense about being able to formulate that level of blood-staunching elixir? Are you dreaming? After Huang Qishan finished speaking, he flicked his sleeves and turned around, intending to leave. In his opinion, there was no need for him to waste time with a little kid. In terms of alchemy, a mere mid-tier alchemist like you isn't fit to compete with me. As Huang Qishan turned around, Zhou Donghuang said calmly, even comparing you to me, I feel that it is an insult to me. What did you say? Huang Qishan, who had been preparing to leave, flew into a rage upon hearing Zhou Donghuang's words. He immediately turned around and glared at Zhou Donghuang. Impudent! All the senior members of the Lin family, including Lin Zhuiyue, glared at Zhou Donghuang at the same time and rebuked him in unison. Faced with the rebuke of the senior members of the Lin family, Zhou Donghuang's expression did not change. He took out a piece of paper that he had prepared earlier. The Lin family should have all these herbs. Today, in front of all of you, I will formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market. I will show you bunch of frogs at the bottom of a well. As he spoke, Zhou Donghuang threw the paper in his hand to Huang Qishan, who instinctively reached out to catch it. Huang Qishan instinctively glanced at the herbs recorded on the paper, and after a moment, he frowned. These herbs, 80% of them, are the herbs in fourth elder's blood-staunching elixir. I said before that the blood-staunching elixir recorded on that blood-staunching elixir was formulated by me. As for the blood-staunching elixir that these herbs can formulate, it is an enhanced version of that blood-staunching elixir. Zhou Donghuang said calmly. The blood-staunching elixir formula that he had given his mother, Lin Lan, could only formulate a blood-staunching elixir that was 40% more effective than the one on the market. Now, he intended to formulate a blood-staunching elixir that was 50% more effective than the one on the market in front of all the Lin family members, giving the Lin family a resounding slap in the face. Didn't you say that I was young and could not formulate a blood-staunching elixir that was 40% more effective than the one on the market? Then I will personally formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market in front of all of you. What a joke! Fourth elder Lin Tonghong of the Lin family looked at Zhou Dongwang disdainfully and laughed coldly. Who doesn't know how to boast? You say that you can formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market, and I, Lin Tonghong, can also say that I can formulate a qi-gathering elixir that doubles the sensitivity to qi. In the entire country of Yunyang, only the superior-level medicine master of the imperial court could formulate a qi-gathering elixir that doubled the sensitivity to qi. Hearing Lin Tonghong's words, Lu Qinghu, who was standing beside Lin Zhuiyue, smirked. What was a qi-gathering elixir that doubled the sensitivity to qi? This young master Dongwang could even formulate a qi-gathering elixir that doubled the sensitivity to qi. Patriarch, I would like to see how this young lad can formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market. Huang Qishan walked towards Lin Zhuiyue and handed the paper in his hand to him. His intention was clear. He wanted Lin Zhuiyue to gather the herbs recorded on the paper, and he wanted to see Zhou Dongwang formulate the blood-staunching elixir. Medicine Master Huang, do you think this is necessary? Lin Zhuiyue asked with a frown. Yes. Huang Qishan said resolutely. Today, in front of me, if he cannot formulate a blood-staunching elixir of that quality, he must kowtow and apologize to me. This is the first time in my life that I, Huang Qishan, have been humiliated like this. As he spoke, Huang Qishan glanced coldly at Zhou Dongwang. Since Medicine Master Huang insists, I will send someone to retrieve the herbs. Lin Zhuiyue nodded and followed Huang Qishan's gaze to Zhou Dongwang. He said with a cold smile, Today, if Zhou Dongwang cannot formulate the blood-staunching elixir that he wants, not only will he kowtow and apologize to you, Medicine Master Huang, the Lin family will not let him off. As he spoke, Lin Zhuiyue handed the paper in his hand to Lin Tianjing. Head Elder, sorry for the trouble. Lin Tianjing glanced at the herbs on the paper and raised an eyebrow. I will send the herbs over in an hour. With these words, Lin Tianjing left. In an hour, I would like to see how this adopted son of Lin Lan, Zhou Dongwang, will deal with this. How else can he deal with this? Patriarch has already said that he will die without a doubt. At most, he can formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 40% more effective than the one on the market through the formula that his mother stole from Fourth Elder. To formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market is a pipe dream. The gazes of the Lin family juniors landed on Zhou Dongwang, some with disdain, but most with glee at his misfortune. An hour was neither long nor short. Time passed quickly as the group of people in the Lin family mansion waited. The head elder of the Lin family, Lin Tianjing, rushed back in time, bringing with him all the herbs that Zhou Dongwang had listed on the paper. The herbs are all here. Next, I would like to see how you formulate a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market. Lin Tianjing threw the bandaged herbs into Zhou Dongwang's hands and gave Zhou Dongwang a cold stare before retreating. Once Zhou Dongwang received the herbs, he wasted no time and immediately began to formulate the blood-staunching elixir. As for the tools for formulating the elixir, while waiting for Lin Tianjing to collect the herbs, Huang Qishan had already prepared them. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Zhou Dongwang's hands moved very quickly. At a glance, He looked like a medicine master who had been formulating elixirs for many years and was very familiar with them. Deliberately mystifying. Lin Tonghong laughed coldly. But Huang Qishan's expression turned serious at this moment. As the saying went, the layman watches the show, while the expert watches the show. Zhou Donghuang's speed and efficiency in formulating the elixir were far beyond that of an intermediate-level medicine master like him. With his speed, I'm afraid he'll be able to concoct the medicinal powder in a quarter of an hour at most. Huang Qishan thought to himself. Of course, even if Huang Qishan thought this way, it did not mean that he believed that Zhou Donghuang could formulate a blood-staunching elixir that was 50% more effective than the ones on the market. That level of blood-staunching elixir was not something that an intermediate-level medicine master could formulate. Just as Huang Qishan thought, Zhou Donghuang stopped after 15 minutes and formulated 3 bottles of blood-staunching elixir. Of the 3 bottles, Zhou Donghuang kept one for himself and tossed 1 bottle to Huang Qishan and the other to Lin Zhuyu. "Try it," Zhou Donghuang said lightly. Huang Qishan could not wait to make a cut on his palm and poured the elixir from the small bottle onto it. But Lin Zhuyu did not even try, because he felt that there was no need. The gazes of the crowd all fell on Huang Qishan, waiting for him to reveal the final result. Although the Lin family present did not think that Zhou Donghuang could formulate such a powerful blood-staunching elixir, they still wanted to hear the result from Huang Qishan's own mouth. But very quickly they were dumbfounded, because they saw that Huang Qishan's eyes shone as he looked at the cut on his palm, and his body began to tremble slightly. This, could it be, seeing Huang Qishan lose his composure, the Lin family's pupils constricted. Impossible. Lin Tonghong's expression changed drastically. Medicine Master Huang, what is the result? Even Lin Zhuyu, the patriarch of the Lin family, could not remain calm. The effect of this blood-staunching elixir is indeed 50% more effective than the ones on the market, Huang Qishan said excitedly. While Lin Zhuyu and the rest of the Lin family were dumbfounded, Huang Qishan looked at Zhou Donghuang and bowed gravely. Whether this blood-staunching elixir was formulated by you yourself, or you obtained the formula from somewhere else. Chapter 52. Admit defeat? Huang Qishan's words caused many of the Lin family juniors, who had just regained their senses, to fall into a daze once again. And now they had confirmed that Lin Lan's adopted son, Zhou Donghuang, had indeed formulated a blood-staunching elixir that was 50% more effective than the ones on the market. Then, in your opinion, is the blood-staunching elixir that 4th elder of the Lin family, Lin Tonghong, handed over to the Lin family mine? Zhou Donghuang looked deeply at Huang Qishan and asked with a faint smile. The blood-staunching elixir formulated by that formula and the one you just formulated share the same principles. Naturally, it was made by the same person. Huang Qishan nodded solemnly. Hearing Huang Qishan's words, Lin Tonghong's expression changed, and he said anxiously, "Medicine Master Huang, Lin Lan must have stolen my formula, and then this rascal added a few herbs to the formula to produce an even better blood-staunching elixir. Even if he formulated a blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the ones on the market, it is not enough to prove that the previous formula was his." Lin Tonghong was really anxious now. He had never imagined that Lin Lan's adopted son would have such a trick up his sleeve. More importantly, this intermediate-level medicine master before him was not someone the Lin family could control, and they would not think of protecting him. "Are you doubting my ability in medicine?" Huang Qishan looked at Lin Tonghong disdainfully, and his voice turned cold. "I'll give you a month's time. If you can add a few herbs to the formula you handed over to the Lin family and produce an even better blood-staunching elixir, I will kneel and kowtow to you 10 times. 4th elder, I was wondering where you got that formula from, but I never imagined that you stole it from someone else." As he spoke, Huang Qishan shook his head and turned to leave, disappearing from everyone's sight. Huang Qishan was an intermediate-level medicine master, and he had absolute authority in medicine. In the eyes of the Lin family juniors, his words were naturally more authoritative than Lin Tonghong's, who was not even an inferior-level medicine master. That formula, was it really fourth elder who stole it from Lin Lan? Only after Huang Qishan left did the group of Lin family juniors present return to their senses. Their gazes towards Lin Tonghong were completely different. The dignified fourth elder actually stole the prescription of a branch relative? Furthermore, he even handed over the formula to the clan under his own name to gain credit. Then, he slandered the other party, saying that the other party stole his formula? If not for the fact that they were intimidated by Lin Tonghong's power in the Lin family, the group of Lin family juniors would have long ago cursed him out loud. Lin Tonghong. After Huang Qishan left, Zhou Donghuang's cold gaze fell on Lin Tonghong. At this moment, Lin Lan also heaved a long sigh of relief. She felt that the sky was clear after the rain. His son, after spending a great deal of effort, successfully helped her seek justice without using force to oppress her. Patriarch Lin, your fourth elder Lin Tonghong has done such a thing. How do you plan to deal with him? Zhou Donghuang glanced at Lin Zhuiyue and asked meaningfully. Hearing this, Lin Zhuiyue's eyes flashed, but he did not speak. Big brother. Just then, Lin Tonghong looked at Lin Tianjing, his face full of anxiety and a pleading look in his eyes. Big brother. Hearing Lin Tonghong address Lin Tianjing, the head elder of the Lin family, Zhou Donghuang's eyes narrowed slightly, and a cold light flashed across them. Head elder is fourth elder's cousin. The two of them grew up together, and their relationship is as good as that of real brothers. As if sensing Zhou Donghuang's confusion, Lin Lan, who was standing at the side, reminded him softly. But even so, even medicine master Huang believes that Lin Tonghong stole my formula. With so many Lin family juniors watching, even if head elder wants to protect him, he will not be able to. Lin Lan said. I don't think so. Zhou Donghuang shook his head, not agreeing or disagreeing with Lin Lan's words. Humph. Just as Lin Lan was stunned by Zhou Donghuang's words, the head elder of the Lin family, Lin Tianjing, stepped forward with a cold snort. After stepping forward, he looked at Zhou Donghuang coldly and said in a low voice, to be able to improve on fourth elder's formula and create an even better formula for the blood-staunching elixir, I have to say that you, Zhou Donghuang, are a talent. Today, as long as you leave behind your improved formula for the blood-staunching elixir, Lin Lan will have made amends for her mistake. Whether it is her theft of the formula, her disregard of Patriarch's orders, or her slander of fourth elder, it will all be written off. The Lin family will not punish her. As Lin Tianjing spoke, his sharp gaze swept over Lin Lan, and his eyes flashed with a murderous intent and threat. And Lin Lan's expression changed completely in that instant. She could naturally tell what Lin Tianjing meant. Lin Tianjing was saying that she, Lin Lan, had committed all her crimes, but as long as her son, Zhou Donghuang, handed over the formula for the blood-staunching elixir, she would have made amends for her mistakes, and the Lin family would not punish her. Patriarch Lin Lan looked at Lin Zhuiyue as if grasping at a life-saving straw. She bit her lip, her eyes filled with anticipation. Sensing Lin Lan's gaze, Lin Zhuiyue merely glanced back at her and said with an indifferent expression, "Everything will be done as head elder says. As long as your son, Zhou Donghuang, hands over the formula, you will have made amends for your mistakes, and the family will not punish you." Under Lin Lan's expectant gaze, Lin Zhuiyue said the same thing that Lin Tianjing had said, causing Lin Lan's face to instantly turn deathly pale. Second elder. Lin Lan took a deep breath and looked at Lin Chonghuan, placing her last hope on the second elder of the Lin family, whom she had always felt to be impartial. Lin Lan, get your son, Zhou Donghuang, to hand over the formula. Lin Chonghuan's eyes flashed with a hint of pity, but it quickly disappeared. His expression darkened as he spoke calmly to Lin Lan. As Lin Chonghuan spoke, Lin Lan's face turned even paler, and her body began to sway. At this moment, many of the surrounding Lin family juniors were completely dumbfounded. What's going on? Wasn't fourth elder the one who stole Lin Lan's formula? Medicine Master Huang has personally proven it. How can head elder, patriarch, and second elder still act like this? In terms of medicine, even patriarch and the rest are not as authoritative as Medicine Master Huang, right? The people who spoke were all the younger Lin family juniors. Hearing their words, some of the older members of the Lin family shook their heads and whispered to each other. At this point, right or wrong is no longer important. That's right. For the family, protecting fourth elder's reputation as a future level 4 adept and obtaining the formula for the blood-staunching elixir that is 50% more effective than the one on the market is the most important. Lin Lan, a collateral descendant. How can her value compare to fourth elders? If you want to blame someone, blame it on Lin Lan for not reincarnating properly. As the older Lin family juniors began to whisper among themselves, the younger Lin family juniors came to a sudden realization. For a moment, when they looked at Lin Lan again, their eyes were filled with pity. Mother, this is the family that you yearn for so much? Zhou Donghuang stepped forward to support Lin Lan, who was on the verge of collapsing from anger, and said softly, in the eyes of such a family, profit is far more important than right or wrong. As Zhou Donghuang spoke, Lin Lan's gaze swept across the senior members of the Lin family, led by Patriarch Lin Zhuiyue, and she said in a hoarse voice, "From this day onwards, I, Lin Lan, am no longer a member of the Lin family." This series of blows had enlightened Lin Lan, and she no longer regarded the Lin family as a devout faith in her life. Approve. Lin Zhuiyue replied mildly. In his view, the departure of a collateral descendant would not affect the Lin family in any way. Donghuang, mother does not wish to stay here any longer, not even a moment longer. Lin Lan looked at Zhou Donghuang with a pleading look in her eyes, and her voice was filled with agitation. She seemed to have lost her composure. Good. Zhou Donghuang nodded. Mother, I will take you away now. As he spoke, Zhou Donghuang supported Lin Lan and prepared to leave. As for the Lin family's debt, he intended to settle it with them after he had taken his mother away from the Lin family. You can leave if you want to, but leave behind the formula. Just as Zhou Donghuang was about to leave with Fu and Granny Lian, the voice of the fourth elder of the Lin family, Lin Tonghong, rang out. As he spoke, Lin Tonghong stepped forward to block the path of Zhou Donghuang and the rest, glaring at Zhou Donghuang. And if I don't? Zhou Donghuang looked calmly at Lin Tonghong, his expression unruffled, and his tone indifferent, as if nothing had happened. If you don't leave behind the formula, then the Lin family will have to properly account for Lin Lan's crimes. Lin Tonghong laughed coldly. Lin Lan, disregarding Patriarch's orders and entering the family without permission, that is the first crime. Stealing the formula that I handed over to the family is the second crime. Slandering me, the fourth elder of the Lin family, is the third crime. Combined punishment for several crimes, you should be executed. As he spoke, a murderous glint flashed across his eyes. Combined punishment for several crimes, you should be executed. After Zhou Donghuang left Lin Lan in Granny Lian's care, he stepped forward, his white robe billowing in the wind. At this moment, the anger that had been suppressed in Zhou Donghuang's eyes for so long was unleashed without reservation. I had intended to send my mother to rest before returning to settle the score with the Lin family. Since the Lin family is so anxious for me to settle the score, then I, Zhou Donghuang, will grant you your wish. Zhou Donghuang grinned, revealing 2 rows of snow-white teeth. At this moment, the seemingly sunny youth seemed to have transformed into the Azura of hell. The Lin family is in for it. Seeing Zhou Donghuang like this, Patriarch Lu Qinghu, who was standing beside Lin Zhuiyue, shook his head, thinking that the Lin family was extremely foolish. Chapter 53. Settle accounts? With just you? Lin Tonghong looked at Zhou Donghuang condescendingly, his face full of disdain. Even if freezing wind were here, he wouldn't dare say that. The last time Lin Tonghong had gone to Qingshan town, he had tried to seize Zhou Donghuang's Yunxian restaurant, but he had been defeated by freezing wind and had to flee pathetically. Therefore, in his opinion, the strongest person by Zhou Donghuang and Lin Lan's side was freezing wind. However, he did not know that even freezing wind's ability was bestowed by Zhou Donghuang. Without Zhou Donghuang, freezing wind might not even have attained level 2 of qi gathering. Noisy! Zhou Donghuang had long lost his patience, and seeing that Lin Tonghong still dared to clamor in front of him, he shouted impatiently and immediately moved. Star-stepping footwork. Zhou Donghuang's figure swayed, and his feet moved in a strange footwork. It was as if he had transformed into a bolt of lightning, and he appeared in front of Lin Tonghong in an instant. And Lin Tonghong's expression changed the moment Zhou Donghuang appeared in front of him. This Zhou Donghuang, how can he be so fast? Just as this thought came to Lin Tonghong, he saw Zhou Donghuang's hand rise and fall, a palm whistling towards his head. Even now, his reaction was still half a beat too slow. And there was only one reason for such a scene to happen. The difference in ability was too great. No, just as Lin Tonghong let out this hurried cry of indignation, Zhou Donghuang's palm had already descended like a ferocious tiger descending the mountain. Bang! Zhou Donghuang's palm landed on Lin Tonghong's head, and the latter fell to the ground with a thud, kicking up a cloud of dust. From Zhou Donghuang's movement to Lin Tonghong's death, the entire process had happened in the blink of an eye, so fast that no one present had time to react. Now, seeing Lin Tonghong fall to the ground dead, the crowd of Lin family members subconsciously gasped. Lin Tonghong was the fourth elder of the Lin family, an outstanding level 3 adept, and was expected to attain level 4 of qi gathering within 10 years, becoming a level 4 adept with the strength of 4 bulls. But now, he had died in front of them. Moreover, he had died in the hands of a youth who looked to be at most 16 or 17 years old. Am I dreaming? Isn't this too ridiculous? He actually killed the fourth elder? Some of the Lin family disciples who had regained their senses first looked at each other and saw the shock and disbelief in each other's eyes. Some of them even subconsciously pinched themselves to make sure they weren't dreaming. Fourth elder, Patriarch Lin Zhuiyue of the Lin family, second elder Lin Chonghuan of the Lin family, and the other senior members of the Lin family, when they recovered their wits, their expressions changed drastically. When their gazes once again landed on the young man standing beside Lin Tonghong's corpse, all of them, without exception, were filled with disbelief. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would not have believed that a youth of such age had the ability to kill the fourth elder of the Lin family, a level 3 adept of qi gathering, Lin Tonghong. Lin Tianjing, the first elder of the Lin family, was the last to regain his senses among the senior members of the Lin family. Brother Hong. After regaining his wits, Lin Tianjing stared furiously at Lin Tonghong's lifeless corpse, and as he cried out in grief, his body trembled with rage. Lin Tonghong was only his cousin by blood, but in his eyes, he was no different from his own brother. And now, he had seen Lin Tonghong die in front of him, and he was filled with rage that could not be contained. Zhou Donghuang, you dare to kill my brother Hong, I will have your life. Lin Tianjing's rationality had been completely destroyed by his rage, and he did not even consider whether Zhou Donghuang's ability was stronger than his. He immediately sprang forward, pouncing at Zhou Donghuang like a cheetah eyeing its prey. Although his rationality was almost destroyed by his rage, Lin Tianjing did not dare to be careless as he neared Zhou Donghuang, and he used the lesser-grade fist technique of the Lin family, Frenzied Python Fist, with all his might. Whoosh! Lin Tianjing was a level 4 adept of qi gathering, and his punch contained the strength of 4 bulls, more than 3,000 jin of force, and the wind howled. And the arm that Lin Tianjing had used to punch seemed to transform into a raging python, charging wildly at Zhou Donghuang. Good move! Faced with Lin Tianjing's ferocious punch, Zhou Donghuang laughed lightly, and with a movement of his feet, he shot forward. Whoosh! As he shot forward, Zhou Donghuang's fist whistled out like a cannonball, meeting Lin Tianjing's ferocious fist head-on. Vajra fist, a second-grade fist technique, emphasized directness, speed, accuracy, and viciousness, using the force of the fist to destroy the enemy. With this second-grade fist technique, Vajra fist, in addition to Zhou Donghuang's strength that was no weaker than Lin Tianjing's, the power of his punch was unimaginable. Bang! Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Zhou Donghuang and Lin Tianjing's fists met, and the fist that was a size smaller than Lin Tianjing's was especially conspicuous. Ka-cha! Before the crowd could react, they heard the crisp sound of bones cracking and breaking, followed by an old and shrill scream. Zhou Donghuang stood motionless, but Lin Tianjing was sent flying, landing pathetically on the ground 3 meters away. The arm that he had used to punch was broken, and it was obvious that it had been crippled by Zhou Donghuang's punch. Their strength was equal, but a second-grade technique could completely crush a lesser-grade technique. Hence, this was the result. At this moment, the entire crowd was silent. Even Lu Qinghu and Lu Bao could not help but stare in shock at the scene before them. It turned out that even without the black iron spear, this young master Donghuang's ability was just as strong. Lin Tianjing was no ordinary level 4 adept of qi gathering. He was one of the 4 level 4 adepts of the preeminent Lin family, and his ability was second only to the patriarch of the Lin family, Lin Zhuyu. Many years ago, he had already made a name for himself in Yunfeng Prefecture. However, such a person had one of his arms crippled in a fist fight with a young man. When the group of Lin family disciples came to their senses one after another, they were so shocked that they all sucked in a breath of cold air. Since when had the head elder of the Lin family become so weak? Was this really the head elder of the Lin family, a level 4 adept? You are a level 5 adept? Lin Tianjing gritted his teeth, enduring the pain of his broken arm. When he looked at Zhou Donghuang again, his eyes were filled with shock and fear, as if he had seen a ghost, and his voice trembled violently. At the same time, Zhou Donghuang's expression was indifferent as he walked towards Lin Tianjing, his gaze cold and emotionless. With every step he took, Lin Tianjing felt immense pressure, causing Lin Tianjing's expression to change again and again. You want to kill me? No. You can't kill me. If you kill me, the Lin family will not let you off. Lin Tianjing panicked. The Lin family? Zhou Donghuang smiled disdainfully, and as Lin Tianjing lifted himself up with one hand to escape, Zhou Donghuang chased after him like a gust of wind, his palm landing cleanly. Boom! After 4th elder Lin Tonghong of the Lin family, another member of the Lin family had fallen, and this time it was the head elder of the Lin family, Lin Tianjing. You actually killed head elder? Seeing Lin Tianjing dead, the patriarch of the Lin family, Lin Zhuyu, stared angrily at Zhou Donghuang, trembling with rage but not daring to make a move. The power that Zhou Donghuang had displayed so far exceeded his own, and even if he rushed forward, he would not escape death. Faced with Lin Zhuyu's angry glare, Zhou Donghuang merely glanced at him and smiled casually. I, Zhou Donghuang, always do as I please. If anyone is dissatisfied, I welcome your advice. If you have such power, why did you go through the trouble of formulating the blood-staunching elixir to clear Linland's name? Lin Zhuyu asked in a low voice. Are you making fun of us? He really could not understand. Given Zhou Donghuang's power, from the beginning, he could have used overwhelming force to suppress the Lin family and force them to punish 4th elder Lin Tonghong. Even if Lin Tonghong had not stolen Linland's formula, given Zhou Donghuang's power, he could have made it so. The planet of Ziyun was a place where the strong were revered, and adepts who were strong enough could even set the rules and order. I would have liked to do that. As Zhou Donghuang spoke, he looked at Lin Lan, who was being supported by Granny Lien, and his gaze softened. But my mother would not allow me to do that. She said that if I did that, it would be no different from Lin Tonghong, who had stolen her formula and used force to oppress her. Besides, she regarded the Lin family as her most devout faith, and would not allow me to make the first move against the Lin family. At this point, as if suddenly remembering something, Zhou Donghuang's electrifying gaze fell on a middle-aged man in the crowd who had just turned and was about to leave. Lin Hua. Zhou Donghuang said calmly. Are you coming over yourself, or should I go over? The middle-aged man whom Zhou Donghuang had fixed his eyes on was none other than Lin Hua, the collateral descendant of the Lin family who had allowed them into the Lin family mansion a few days ago and then slandered them for climbing over the wall to enter. Thump! Hearing Zhou Donghuang's voice, Lin Hua's body suddenly trembled, and then, as if he had been scared out of his wits, he turned and ran to Zhou Donghuang to kneel down, trembling. Young Master Donghuang, I deserve to die. I should not have slandered you. I deserve to die. I deserve to die. As Lin Hua spoke, he raised his hands and slapped himself again and again, as if he would not stop until Zhou Donghuang told him to. He did this in the hope that Zhou Donghuang would be lenient and spare his life. Chapter 54. In the huge backyard of the Lin family mansion, only Lin Hua's pleas and slaps could be heard. Slander! What did Lin Hua do? Why don't I understand? Many of the Lin family juniors were bewildered, completely unaware of what had happened. Of course, although they did not know what had happened, they were certain of one thing. Lin Hua had provoked Lin Lan's terrifying adopted son, Zhou Donghuang. Otherwise, why would Zhou Donghuang only target him when there were so many Lin family juniors watching? Lin Hua is really caught in his own trap. The collateral descendant who guarded the gate of the neighboring mansion with Lin Hua that day was also there. He shook his head and sighed softly. Lin Nan, do you know how Lin Hua offended Zhou Donghuang? A Lin family junior asked curiously. As Lin Nan recounted the sequence of events, the surrounding Lin family juniors finally understood why Zhou Donghuang had targeted Lin Hua. Lin Hua is really ruthless. I have never heard of him having a grudge against Lin Lan. I remember that Lin Hua used to be Lin Lan's pursuer, and he was the persistent type. Finally, Lin Lan publicly rejected him, and he stopped pursuing Lin Lan. Could it be that he still holds a grudge because of that? It's possible. If it is really because of that, isn't Lin Hua too petty? When the group of Lin family disciples looked at Lin Hua again, their eyes were filled with disdain. I wonder how Zhou Donghuang will deal with Lin Hua. Many of the Lin family juniors looked at Zhou Donghuang. If you had known this would happen, you would not have done it in the first place. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Zhou Donghuang glanced at Lin Hua, then lifted his leg and stomped down, directly killing Lin Hua. Lin Hua's begging and slapping sounds stopped abruptly. Zhou Donghuang had stomped Lin Hua to death as casually as if he were stepping on an ant. This scene caused the scalps of the Lin family juniors to go numb. After withdrawing his foot from Lin Hua's body, Zhou Donghuang glanced at Lin Zhuiyue, the patriarch of the Lin family. With just one glance, Lin Zhuiyue's expression changed, as if he was facing a formidable enemy. Only when Zhou Donghuang's gaze shifted away from Lin Zhuiyue did the latter sigh in relief. Seeing Zhou Donghuang's gaze fall on him, the second elder of the Lin family, Lin Chonghuan, could only smile bitterly, but he was not as frightened as Lin Zhuiyue, as if he had cast aside his life and death. Wrong, all wrong. Grand Elder is wrong, Patriarch is wrong, I'm wrong too. Lin Chonghuan knew that all of them were wrong today. Otherwise, as long as Lin Lan was in the Lin family, her adopted son, Zhou Donghuang, would definitely remain in the Lin family. To have such strength at the age of 16 or 17, if he was given another 10 or 20 years, how far would he grow? The Lin family had missed a great opportunity. Donghuang, let's go. At this moment, Lin Lan called out to Zhou Donghuang. She had been watching Zhou Donghuang's actions from the beginning to the end. From the moment she announced that she was leaving the Lin family, her pious faith in the Lin family had completely collapsed. Right now, the Lin clan was no longer important to her, and she no longer considered herself a member of the Lin clan. All right. Zhou Donghuang responded and returned to Lin Lan's side. Supporting Lin Lan, he led Fu and Granny Lian towards the main entrance of the Lin family mansion. Lin Lan. Lin Chonghuan gritted his teeth and finally called out to Lin Lan, "Would you consider remaining in the Lin family? The Lin family can give you justice." For the sake of the Lin family, Lin Chonghuan had put down his pride. Justice? Lin Lan heard this and turned her head to look at Lin Chonghuan. Second elder, do I, Lin Lan, still need the Lin family to give me justice now? My son has already helped me seek justice. As for the Lin family, from today onwards, it has nothing to do with me. With that, Lin Lan and Zhou Donghuang left together, and the crowd of Lin family juniors parted to make a path as they watched them leave. They all wore bitter smiles on their faces. Like Lin Chonghuan, they also knew that the Lin family had missed a great opportunity. Lin Lan and her adopted son, Zhou Donghuang, should have been the greatest help to the Lin family. But now, they had been pushed out the door by the Lin family. Second elder, if she wants to leave, let her go. The Lin family does not need a mere collateral descendant, Lin Zhuiyue said in a low voice. Although his voice was full of energy, the Lin family knew that he was using this as an excuse to save his last shred of face. Today, the Lin family's greatest loss was not the deaths of head elder and fourth elder, but Lin Lan's departure. When Lin Lan left, she took with her a mere 16 or 17-year-old who was suspected to already be a level 5 adept of qi gathering. Farewell, Patriarch Lin. Seeing that Zhou Donghuang had left, Lu Qinghu naturally did not intend to stay any longer. After bidding farewell to Lin Zhuiyue, he left with Lu Bao. Patriarch Lu, please wait. Seeing this, Lin Zhuiyue hurriedly called out to Lu Qinghu. We have not discussed the dealership for your Lu family's qi-gathering elixir. There is no need for discussion. Before Lin Zhuiyue could finish speaking, Lu Qinghu, who had stopped in his tracks, interrupted him. Lu Qinghu turned his head and glanced at Lin Zhuiyue. The Lu family's dealership for the qi-gathering elixir will never be given to the Lin family. To the extent that, from now on, the Lu family will never cooperate with the Lin family in any way. As Lu Qinghu spoke, a cold smile appeared on his lips. Lu Qinghu's words caused Lin Zhuiyue's expression to change, and he instinctively asked, "Why?" Because the owner of the qi-gathering elixir formula of the Lu family is Madame Lin Lan's adopted son, Zhou Donghuang. The Lu family is only acting as his agent for the production and sale of the qi-gathering elixir. As he finished speaking, Lu Qinghu left with Lu Bao. It was not until the two figures disappeared from the sight of the Lin family that they came back to their senses. Their faces were filled with astonishment at the same time. My God! The Lu family's qi-gathering elixir formula actually belongs to Lin Lan's adopted son, Zhou Donghuang? How is this possible? Patriarch Lu Qinghu of the Lu family said it himself. It can't be false. Who would have thought, that adopted son of Lin Lan's is actually a hidden dragon? That hidden dragon should have belonged to the Lin family. At this moment, the group of Lin family juniors present sighed in pity, and at the same time, they more or less resented Patriarch Lin Zhuiyue, but did not dare to voice it. Patriarch, I'll take my leave first. The second elder of the Lin family, Lin Chonghuan, gave a long sigh, bade farewell to Lin Zhuiyue, and left, leaving behind a desolate and forlorn figure. Lin Zhuiyue, the patriarch of the Lin family, stood rooted to the spot, his face alternating between green and white, his thoughts inscrutable. After a moment, Lin Zhuiyue recovered his wits, and his cold gaze swept over the group of Lin family juniors present. If anyone dares to spread word of what happened today, they will be punished according to the house rules. As he finished speaking, he left. However, although Lin Zhuiyue's words had intimidated some of the Lin family juniors, there were still quite a few bold Lin family juniors who spread the news. In just a few days, the entire capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture knew of what had happened in the backyard of the Lin family mansion on February 10, 1228 of the Ziyun era. On February 10, 1228 of the Ziyun era, 17-year-old Zhou Donghuang, the adopted son of a collateral descendant of the Lin family, had killed the fourth elder of the Lin family and the head elder of the Lin family in the backyard of the Lin family mansion, and was suspected to have attained level 5 of Qi gathering. As the news spread, the entire capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture was shaken. It could be imagined that as the news spread, not just the capital city, but the entire Yunfeng Prefecture, and even the surrounding prefectures, would be shaken. In the history of the country of Yunyang, there had never been a 17-year-old level 5 adept of Qi gathering. Zhou Donghuang's achievements were unprecedented in the country of Yunyang. Of course, as the news spread, even more people were skeptical. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would not have believed that Yunfeng Prefecture could produce a 17-year-old level 5 adept of Qi gathering. After all, in the history of the country of Yunyang, there had never been such a person. The governor's household, the Zhao family. Elder San, have you heard about the news that has been spreading in the capital city recently? In the quiet courtyard, the shopkeeper of the Hall of Gods, Zhao Ruochen, stood respectfully as he asked Zhao San, who was leisurely sipping his tea at the stone table. What is it? Zhao San had not left his room recently, and had been practicing in his room, eating and drinking in his room. He had just stepped out of his room 2 hours ago. Elder San, that Zhou Donghuang has come to the capital again. 5 days ago, he killed the fourth elder and head elder of the Lin family mansion in a fit of rage for his mother. Just as Zhao Ruochen finished speaking, the teacup in Zhao San's hand shattered with a loud crack, and his originally calm expression was replaced by one of shock. Has this matter been verified? Zhao San asked Zhao Ruochen with a solemn expression after taking a deep breath and calming his trembling emotions. I asked people to find a dozen or so Lin family disciples who were present that day, and they all confirmed this matter. Zhao Ruochen said. Zhou Donghuang, where is he now? Zhao San suddenly stood up and stared at Zhao Ruochen as he asked anxiously. Although he could tell from the past that Zhou Donghuang was not simple. However, he had not expected that the 17-year-old Zhou Donghuang would have the ability to kill the head elder of the Lin family, Lin Tianjing. Even now, he might not be Lin Tianjing's match with the Zhao family's movement technique. He's at the Liu family, Zhao Ruochen said. Liu family? The Liu family that just became a preeminent family not long ago? Zhao San asked. Yes. Zhao Ruochen nodded. I knew it. Liu Qinghu, the head of the Liu clan, didn't make a breakthrough earlier or later. Why did he make a breakthrough all of a sudden? Zhao San's eyes flashed as he fell into deep thought. Third master, you mean? Liu Qinghu's breakthrough has something to do with Zhou Donghuang? Zhao Ruochen was stunned. Chapter 55. The Li family household. As one of the preeminent families of Yunfeng Prefecture, the atmosphere in the Li family was still gloomy because of the death of their second young master, Li Pingyun. Have you confirmed it? Li Jingyu, the patriarch of the Li family, stared at the Li family elder and asked. Patriarch, I have confirmed it, it is true. The Li family elder smiled bitterly. I was wondering why Liu Qinghu and Fang Tianyi not only did not avenge their son, but they even went all the way to Qingshan town to serve Zhou Donghuang. It turns out that Zhou Donghuang is so powerful. Li Jingyu's eyes flashed coldly. It seems that the death of the former patriarch of the Ma family, Ma Tianba, is most likely related to him. Patriarch, that Zhou Donghuang is suspected to be a level 5 adept. The Li family cannot afford to offend him. The Li family elder smiled bitterly. The Li family did not do anything to him before, so naturally we will not do anything to him now. let's wait for my eldest daughter to return from Guangling Prefecture first. If there is really no other way, I will not seek revenge for my son, lest I fail and drag the Li family down with me. Although Li Jingyu's words were extremely calm, his tightly clenched fists were already overflowing with traces of blood. One could see how resentful and aggrieved he was right now. Now, he could only place his hopes on his eldest daughter, who was married to the junior governor of the intermediate-level prefecture of Guangling Prefecture. Although his eldest daughter was only the concubine of the young county chief, she was the one he doted on the most among his 3 wives and 4 concubines. In the letter I wrote to her, I asked her to try her best to come back with the young governor of the Guangling Prefecture. I don't know if she will come back alone or with the young governor this time. If that junior county governor is here, I might be able to avenge my son. Guangling Prefecture was an intermediate-level prefecture. The governor of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, was a grand family with many level 6 adepts. Whenever his son-in-law went out, he would usually be accompanied by at least 2 level 5 adepts. At the same time, on the other side of the Li family household. Impossible, impossible. That Zhou Dongwang is a martial invalid, how can he be a level 5 adept? Moreover, he is only 17 years old. Li Rui kept shaking her head, unwilling to believe that all of this was real. However, in order to verify this point, she had purposely asked many people. The more she asked, the more despair she felt. Now, although she kept saying that she didn't believe it, she already believed it in the depths of her heart. She just couldn't accept it. Her mother Li Yun's words still rang in her ears. You're wrong. Dongwang is a dragon among men. If you miss him, you'll regret it. Li Rui regretted it. She had always wanted to find a man of high status and fly up the branches like a phoenix, but in the end, she missed the best opportunity. Zhou Dongwang, whom she had looked down on, was just as her mother Li Yun had said, a dragon among men. The Hong family was also one of the preeminent families of Yunfeng Prefecture. Currently, in the Hong family mansion, there was also a person who had heard the news that had spread like wildfire outside. Zhou Dongwang killed the head elder of the Lin family, Lin Tianjing, who was a level 4 adept of qi gathering. A slender and elegant young girl dressed in a light yellow robe had an expression of shock and disbelief on her pretty face that carried a hint of childishness. How could that good-for-nothing have such power? The young lady's eyes were filled with disbelief. Uncle Hong, is this true? The young lady looked at the person who had told her the news. It was a middle-aged man with a stern expression, dressed in a loose green robe. It was the patriarch of the preeminent Hong family, Hong Wei. Dandan, it's true. Hong Wei nodded solemnly. I specially sent someone to find out. Zhou Dongwang really did kill Lin Tianjing. That day, Lin Tianjing even used the fist technique of the Lin family, the frenzied python fist. But after exchanging a blow with Zhou Dongwang, he was sent flying backwards, and the arm he used to punch with was broken by Zhou Dongwang. The power that Zhou Dongwang displayed that day was no weaker than that of a level 5 adept of qi gathering. Even though he had not just found out, Hong Wei's face was still full of shock. The young lady was none other than Qin Dandan, Lin Lan's adopted daughter and Zhou Donghuang's childhood sweetheart. Because she had betrayed Lin Lan and leaked the formula of the Lin family to the Hong family, she had completely fallen out with Lin Lan and Zhou Donghuang. After leaving Qingshan town, she had come to the preeminent Hong family of the prefecture capital. That good-for-nothing grew up with me. I know all about him. How could he possibly have that kind of strength? Chen Dandan still could not believe it, but she had no choice but to believe the words of Hong Wei, the patriarch of the Hong family. Dandan, even if he is talented, if he cannot enter the Valley of the Medicine Masters, he will at most be stuck at great consummation of qi gathering. Hong Wei smiled faintly. And now Yunfei, who is already in the Valley of the Medicine Masters, and you, who are about to go to the Valley of the Medicine Masters, will have the full support of the second elder of the sect of the Medicine Masters, and you will reach the Khanate stage sooner or later. Reaching the Khanate stage of Qi gathering is like a carp leaping through the dragon's gate. The two cannot be mentioned in the same breath. That Zhou Donghuang will never be able to compare to the two of you, Hong Wei said. The Valley of the Medicine Masters was a sect above the country of Yunyang, and even the imperial court of Yunyang had to pay tribute to it every year. And under the Valley of the Medicine Masters, there were 16 countries like Yunyang, collectively known as the 16 countries of the East Valley. In the country of Yunyang, a great consummation adept of the Qi gathering was already considered the strongest. But in the Valley of the Medicine Masters there were even adepts who had reached the Khanate stage, and there were quite a few of them. But if his talent is really that high, and the news reaches the Valley of the Medicine Masters, the people of the Valley of the Medicine Masters will definitely want to take him in, right? Chen Dandan frowned, clearly worried. Ha ha, Hong Wei laughed heartily. Dandan, you don't have to worry about this at all. The person in the Valley of the Medicine Masters who is usually in charge of liaising with the country of Yunyang is Yunfei, and your teacher, the second elder of the Valley of the Medicine Masters, Chen Tianhe. As long as Zhou Donghuang does not get past him, he is destined not to enter the Valley of the Medicine Masters. Furthermore, when you go to the Valley of the Medicine Masters and become Elder Chen's disciple, as long as you and Yunfei build good relations with the other disciples of the Valley of the Medicine Masters, don't tell me that you can't even ask those disciples of the Valley of the Medicine Masters to kill Zhou Donghuang in the cradle. I'm sure those arrogant disciples of the Valley of the Medicine Masters would not want to see a kid from a small rural town riding over their heads in the future, right? As Hong Wei spoke, a cold glint flashed across his eyes. Hearing Hong Wei's words, Chen Dandan's eyes lit up immediately. Yes, we can kill him in the cradle, and not let him grow any further. Zhou Donghuang, you are destined to be stepped on by me, Chen Dandan, for the rest of your life. Don't even think of making a comeback. Chen Dandan laughed coldly to herself. Leaving the courtyard where Chen Dandan lived, Hong Wei's eyes flashed, and his lips curled into a faint smile. I never thought that a preeminent family like the Hong family would one day be connected to the Valley of the Medicine Masters. As long as Yunfei and Dandan get married, what is done, and the Hong family will be completely tied to the second elder of the Valley of the Medicine Masters. When that time comes, let alone grand families or tycoon families, as long as the Hong family wants to, we can even replace the imperial court of the country of Yunyang and become the new ruler of the country of Yunyang. Chen Dandan was the illegitimate daughter of the second elder of the Valley of the Medicine Masters, Chen Tianhe. This was something that even Chen Dandan herself did not know. Initially, Hong Wei had coincidentally found out that the second elder of the Valley of the Medicine Masters, Chen Tianhe, was looking for his illegitimate daughter, so he had tried to help. In the end, he had found out that Chen Tianhe's illegitimate daughter was in Qingshan town, below Yunfeng Prefecture, and that she had been adopted by Lin Lan, the guild master of the Magnolia Guild, under the Lin family. Everything that had happened after that was logical. He had allowed his son to pursue Chen Dandan, and after the two of them had confirmed their relationship, his son had taken advantage of the situation to become the disciple of Chen Dandan's biological father, the second elder of the Valley of the Medicine Masters, Chen Tianhe. In the next few days, he would send Chen Dandan to the Valley of the Medicine Masters to meet the second elder of the Valley of the Medicine Masters, Chen Tianhe. The Lu family household. Young Master Donghuang. The first young master of the Lu family, Lu Yuan, who had been forced by Zhou Donghuang to maim his own leg, walked briskly into the courtyard where Zhou Donghuang was temporarily staying. Looks like you've recovered well. Zhou Donghuang, who was sitting at the stone table in the courtyard drinking tea and basking in the sun, looked at Lu Yuan's reattached leg and smiled. It's all thanks to young Master Donghuang for treating me. Lu Yuan looked at Zhou Donghuang gratefully and explained the reason for his visit. Young Master Donghuang, I'm here to tell you, That Zhao San of the Zhao family of the governor's household has come to the Lu family. Just now, I passed by the hall and overheard the conversation between him and my father. He seems to be here for you. Lu Yuan said. Zhao San. Zhou Dongwang raised an eyebrow and nodded slightly, saying nothing more. Young Master Dongwang, although that Zhao San gave Yunxian restaurant to you, he is not a good person initially, Fong Tianyi Ma Jin, and I found out from him that he would not protect you, so we came up with the idea of going to Qingshan town to rob your Yunxian restaurant. Lu Yuan reminded him, as if afraid that Zhou Dongwang was too close to Zhao San and would not even know that Zhao San had betrayed him. However, how could Zhou Dongwang not know all that he was saying? Given Zhou Dongwang's 1,000 years of experience, what kind of storms had he not experienced? He had already guessed what Lu Yuan was saying. Young Master Dongwang. Not long after Lu Yuan spoke, Lu Qinghu's voice came from outside the courtyard. Young Master Dongwang, Zhao San of the Zhao family of the governor's household requests an audience. After Lu Qinghu's voice, another energetic voice came. Chapter 56. Young Master Dongwang, it's been 2 months, but you look as good as ever. Zhao San and Lu Qinghu stood together, looking at the young man in white sitting at the stone table with a complicated expression. 2 months ago, the young man had cured him of the illness he had suffered from Qigong deviation, allowing him to return to level 4 of Qi gathering. At that time, although he had felt that the young man was not simple, he had never imagined that in just 2 months, the young man would reach a height that even he could not hope to reach. Seeing Zhou Dongwang again, Zhao San changed the way he addressed Zhou Dongwang from Young Master Zhou to Young Master Dongwang, and his tone was even more respectful. Although he could not confirm whether Zhou Dongwang had really attained level 5 of Qi gathering, Zhou Dongwang had indeed demonstrated the ability of a level 5 adept when he killed the head elder of the Lin family a few days ago. Based on this, Zhou Dongwang was now on equal footing with his elder brother, the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisang. Why are you looking for me? Zhou Dongwang asked Zhao San calmly as he squinted under the sun and sipped his tea leisurely. Seeing that Zhou Dongwang was so direct, Zhao San did not beat around the bush. Young Master Dongwang, the Zhao family of the governor's household would like to invite you to be an external elder. Before coming to the Lu family household, Zhao San had not only known of Zhou Dongwang's powerful abilities, but he also knew that Zhou Dongwang had many valuable prescriptions. For example, the blood-staunching elixir that the Lin family had previously sold to monopolize the high-end market in Yunfeng Prefecture had come from Zhou Dongwang. And recently, the cheap Qi-gathering elixir that the Lu family had sold to monopolize the Qi-gathering elixir market in Yunfeng Prefecture had also come from Zhou Dongwang. Because of this, Zhao San had specially sought out his elder brother, the head of the Zhao family of the governor's household, the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisang, and finally reached an agreement with Zhao Lisang to invite Zhou Dongwang to join the Zhao family. Not interested. Zhou Dongwang had already responded casually as Zhao San finished speaking. Young Master Dongwang, as long as you are willing to join the Zhao family, we can satisfy all your requests to the best of our ability. Seeing that Zhou Dongwang had rejected him without hesitation, Zhao San was a little anxious, and he began to list his terms. I said I'm not interested, don't you understand me? Zhou Dongwang suddenly opened his eyes. A cold light flashed in them as he spoke impatiently. Zhao San took a deep breath and smiled bitterly. Young Master Dongwang, I know that I have offended you by declaring that I would not protect you as the new owner of Yunxian restaurant. Why don't you give me a chance to make amends? Protect me? Zhou Dongwang smiled brightly. Zhao San, aren't you being too full of yourself? I, Zhou Dongwang, need your protection? Zhao San's expression froze. Only then did he remember that with the power that Zhou Dongwang had displayed a few days ago, he really did not need his protection. No matter what, Zhao San will always remember young Master Donghuang's kindness. At this point, Zhao San could tell that Zhou Dongwang had no interest in visiting the Zhao family of the governor's household, so he did not continue to send out invitations. Back then, I helped you because I saw that you had a good reputation and knew that if I helped you, you would not make things difficult for the Magnolia Guild. You gave Yunxian restaurant to me, and we already owe each other a favor. There is no need to feel that you owe me a favor. Zhou Dongwang shook his head. Although he really did not need Zhao San's protection. If Zhao San had not expressed any opinion on the future ownership of Yunxian restaurant after he left, he might have been more courteous to Zhao San now. But not only did Zhao San not do that, he even deliberately announced that he would not care about the future ownership of Yunxian restaurant, as if he was deliberately causing trouble for Zhou Dongwang. He had no reason to blame Zhao San. After all, Zhao San had indeed given Zhou Dongwang restaurant to Zhou Dongwang and returned the favor. However, Zhou Dongwang had the freedom to no longer have anything to do with Zhao San. Chief Lu, please see our guest out. Zhou Dongwang stretched lazily and glanced at Lu Qinghu. Yes, young Master Dongwang. Now, in Lu Qinghu's eyes, even the words of the governor's household were not as important as Zhou Dongwang's. Therefore, he immediately asked Lu Qinghu to leave Zhou Dongwang's yard and the Lu family mansion. Initially, when I announced to the public that I would not care about the future ownership of Yunxian restaurant, I simply wanted to test him. I did not expect that I would end up making a fool of myself and make him dislike me. Standing outside the gates of the Lu family mansion, Zhao San smiled bitterly. He had never imagined that his wrong decision would lead to such consequences. March 10, 1228 of the Ziyun era. In the prefecture city of Yunfeng Prefecture, a large mansion had been erected on the empty plot of land beside the Lu family mansion. At the entrance of the mansion, there was a plaque hanging on it with the words Magnolia Guild written in flamboyant calligraphy. The words were majestic, and if one were to look closely, it would give one a visual shock. The inscription on the bottom right corner of the plaque was, Zhou Dongwang. A month ago, after leaving the Lin family mansion with Lin Lan, Zhou Dongwang had called Lu Qinghu over and asked him to help rebuild the Magnolia Guild. Lu Qinghu could not wait for Zhou Dongwang to ask him for help, so he naturally agreed to Zhou Dongwang's request unconditionally. Coincidentally, the empty plot of land beside the Lu family mansion had been bought by the Lu family from the governor's household many years ago and had never been used, so Lu Qinghu took this opportunity to give it to Zhou Dongwang. In a short month, the Magnolia Guild had been rebuilt with the help of the Lu family on the empty plot of land, and it looked exactly like the Magnolia Guild in Qingshan town. This was also rebuilt according to Zhou Dongwang's request, and Granny Lian personally supervised the entire process. Today was the opening day of the Magnolia Guild, and Lin Lan and Granny Lian were already standing at the entrance of the Magnolia Guild early in the morning, welcoming guests who had come to congratulate them. A crowd of onlookers had already gathered at the entrance of the Magnolia Guild. Today is the opening day of the Magnolia Guild of young Master Donghuang's foster mother, Lin Lan. I wonder who will come to congratulate them. The Lin family and the Li family will definitely not come. The Lu family will definitely come, but as for the other two preeminent families in the prefecture capital of Yunfeng Prefecture, the Hong family and the Zhao family of the governor's household, I wonder if they will come. Normally, they should give face to young Master Dongwang. As the sun rose, a figure, escorted by two old men, walked up the steps of the Magnolia Guild under the watchful eyes of the crowd. The lesser Fong family congratulates the Magnolia Guild on its reopening. Guild Master Lin, this is a gift from the Fong family, please accept it. The patriarch of the Fong family, Fong Jishan, was the first to present a gift of 200,000 liang of silver to Lin Lan. Thank you, Patriarch Fong. Lin Lan smiled and thanked Fong Jishan, while Granny Lian behind her stepped forward to receive the silver. The lesser Ma family congratulates the Magnolia Guild on its reopening. Guild Master Lin, I am Ma Dongfeng, the new patriarch of the Ma family. After Fang Jishan, the patriarch of the Ma family, Ma Dongfeng, also arrived and presented 200,000 liang of silver as a gift. Thank you, Patriarch Ma. Lin Lan smiled and thanked him. The preeminent Lu family congratulates the Magnolia Guild on its reopening. Soon, the patriarch of the Lu family, Lu Qinghu, also appeared. As for Lu Qinghu's gift, although it was also in the form of silver notes, it was more than 1 million liang. 1 million liang of silver? This patriarch of the Lu family is so generous. I had long heard that the Lu family was on good terms with young Master Donghuang, but I did not expect it to be this good. My goodness, 1 million liang of silver notes. This is the first time I have seen so much money in my life. It is said that the qi-gathering elixir of the Lu family was formulated using young Master Donghuang's formula. Young Master Donghuang has brought so much to the Lu family, it is normal for the Lu family to give such a gift. The gift that Lu Qinghu gave shocked many of the onlookers. Patriarch Lu, this is too much. You have already helped the Magnolia Guild enough. We cannot accept these silver notes. Lin Lan smiled bitterly. Guild Master Lin, compared to young Master Donghuang's kindness to me, this amount of money is nothing. In the end, Lu Qinghu forced the silver notes into Granny Lian's hands. After Lu Qinghu, many of the senior members of the lesser families, who had rushed over from outside the prefecture capital, also came forward to congratulate the opening of the Magnolia Guild with gift. They all wanted to use this opportunity to build good relations with the Magnolia Guild and with young Master Donghuang behind the guild. However, compared to the gifts of the Lu, Ma, and Fang families, their gifts were much more shabby. The most they had was 50,000 liang of silver note. Of course, this was not because they were stingy, but because they were not as rich as the Lu, Ma, or Fang families. Even though they were all lesser families, there were differences. That's the governor? Suddenly, with a wave of exclamations, the crowd in front of the Magnolia Guild surged and parted to make a path. A tall, burly figure appeared in front of the crowd. This was a middle-aged man wearing a yellow robe with silver edges, with dashing eyebrows and a jade-like complexion. As he walked, he had an extraordinary aura that gave off an immense pressure. The third master of the Zhao family, Zhao San, and an old man in blue followed behind the middle-aged man like shadows. Governor! Greetings, Governor! Following Lu Qinghu, the chief of the preeminent Lu family, the senior members of the lesser families all walked down the steps of the Magnolia Guild and bowed respectfully to the newcomer. The newcomer was the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisang. He was also the most powerful person in Yunfeng Prefecture, a powerful level 5 adept of qi gathering. Governor! Lin Lan also came forward with Granny Lian. As a citizen of Yunfeng Prefecture, Lin Lan had an inexplicable respect for the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture. Just as Lin Lan finished speaking, the old man in blue behind Zhao Lisang had already stepped forward and looked at Lin Lan with a piercing gaze. He asked in a low voice, "Where is Zhou Donghuang? Why isn't he coming out to welcome the governor?" "Lord Prefectural Governor, my son has been busy cultivating recently, so he wasn't present. Please forgive him. Please do not blame me," Lin Lan said apologetically to Zhao Lisang. Practicing? Chapter 57. Eldarin, isn't this a little too much? Lu Qinghu stood up and looked at the old man in blue, his expression darkening. The old man in blue was called Zhao Jinan, and he was the head elder of the Zhao family of the governor's household. He was also recognized as the strongest adept below level 5 of qi gathering in Yunfeng Prefecture. In Yunfeng Prefecture, he was recognized as the strongest adept after the governor, Zhao Lisang. Of course, that was before. Ever since his battle in the backyard of the Lin family mansion a month ago, many people had regarded him as a level 5 adept, and they had even thought that he was stronger than Zhao Jinan. Lu Qinghu knew very well. Now that Zhao Jinan had jumped out to make a scene, Zhao Lisang had no intention of stopping him. To a certain extent, The Zhao family of the governor's household was trying to establish their authority. After all, young Master Donghuang's reputation had been too strong recently. If he were the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, he would similarly suppress young Master Donghuang. However, he could not bear to see Zhao Jinan gain the upper hand in front of young Master Donghuang's adoptive mother, because young Master Donghuang had done him, his son, and the Lu family a great favor. Therefore, he stood up. What? Chief Lu, you've led the Lu family from a lesser family to a preeminent family. Are you getting ahead of yourself? You don't even respect the governor's household? Seeing Lu Qinghu step forward, Zhao Jinan looked at him coldly, a mocking smile playing on his lip. A mere preeminent family was nothing to Zhao Jinan. Just as Lu Qinghu's expression darkened in response to Zhao Jinan's mocking, a calm voice rang out from the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild. I was wondering why I heard a dog barking so early in the morning. It's an old dog barking nonstop at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild. As the voice rang out, a youth dressed in white walked out from the Magnolia Guild. The youth was handsome and had an outstanding aura. His expression was calm and confident, as if he would be fearless even if the sky collapsed. Old dog. As the youth's voice reached the ears of the crowd at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, both the onlookers and the senior members of the lesser families gasped in shock. Zhao Jinan was the second in command of the governor's household, and he was one of the top level 4 adepts in Yunfeng Prefecture. Usually, even the patriarchs of the preeminent families in Yunfeng Prefecture would have to address Zhao Jinan as elder but now, this young man was comparing him to an old dog? Even though they had guessed that the young man before them was Zhou Donghuang, whose name had shaken the entire Yunfeng Prefecture in the past month, they could not help but feel their scalps tingle at this moment. This Zhou Donghuang really dared to say anything. Zhou Donghuang? Zhao Lishang's heart skipped a beat. His eyes narrowed into slits as a glint flashed across his eyes. Zhao San, who was standing behind him, watched calmly as Zhou Donghuang walked out of the Magnolia Guild. Zhou Donghuang walked out of the Magnolia Guild unhurriedly and walked down the steps to stand beside Lin Lan. Mother, you weren't scared by this old dog, were you? Before Lin Lan could speak, Zhao Jinan's cold gaze had already landed on Zhou Donghuang. You are Zhou Donghuang? You said I, Zhao Jinan, am an old dog? At this moment, Zhao Jinan's cold gaze flashed with a murderous intent. If you keep barking, I don't mind teaching you a lesson on behalf of your master. Zhou Donghuang said calmly. Good, very good. Zhao Jinan was so angry that his breathing quickened, and his chest rose and fell like a bellows. I heard that a month ago you, Zhou Donghuang, broke the arm of the head elder of the Lin family, Lin Tianjing, with one punch, and you are suspected to be a level 5 adept. Today, I, Zhao Jinan, would like to see for myself if you, Zhou Donghuang, are really a level 5 adept like the rumors say. As soon as Zhao Jinan finished speaking, he moved his feet and prepared to use the lesser-grade swiftness technique of the Zhao family to dash towards Zhou Donghuang. But just as his body trembled and he was about to move, he saw a shadow flash before his eyes, and a swift figure charged towards him at a speed far faster than his own. Under the gaze of the others, as soon as Zhao Jinan finished speaking, Zhou Donghuang seemed to transform into a bolt of lightning, heading straight for Zhao Jinan. Bang! Just as Zhao Jinan had taken 2 or 3 steps, Zhou Donghuang's entire body had already shot up agilely, and his knee landed heavily on Zhao Jinan's stomach. Zhao Jinan's expression instantly became contorted and hideous. Just by looking at him, it was obvious that Zhao Jinan was in pain. Following that, under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Zhou Donghuang's knee struck Zhao Jinan's abdomen and followed Zhao Jinsan's body as it flew out. Zhao Jinan's body landed heavily on the ground a few meters away, and Zhou Donghuang followed suit. Bang! As Zhao Jinan struggled to stand up, Zhou Donghuang raised his foot and stepped on Zhao Jinan's chest, pushing him back down. Zhao Jin roared as he landed on all fours, trying desperately to stand up, but his body did not move at all. Zhou Donghuang's foot was stepping on Zhao Jinan, and it was as if a 400 or 500 caddy boulder was pressing down on Zhao Jinan's body. No matter how Zhao Jin struggled, it was to no avail. Only then did the crowd regain their senses, and they could not help but gasp. So powerful! Is this really Zhao Jinan? The publicly acknowledged strongest adept below level 5 of Qi gathering in Yunfeng Prefecture? Looks like this young Master Dong Huang of the Magnolia Guild is really a level 5 adept. In the past, I only heard rumors, and I thought that they were exaggerated. Now it looks like they were not exaggerated at all. Zhou Donghuang's act of stepping on Zhao Jin shocked everyone present. Even Lin Lan, Granny Lian, and Lu Qinghu, who had personally seen Zhou Donghuang defeat head elder Lin Tianjing of the Lin family a month ago, were shocked to see Zhou Donghuang display such power. After all, this was head elder Zhao Jin of the governor's household, and head elder Lin Tianjing of the Lin family. Lin Tianjing could not compare to him. Although they were both level 4 adepts, if Lin Tianjing were to fight Zhao Jinan, he would not last more than 3 moves. The difference was too great. Young Master Dong Huang, isn't he too powerful? Lu Qinghu was shocked, and his heart trembled. Whether it was Lin Tianjing or Zhao Jinan, it seemed like they were no different in front of this young Master Dong Huang, and he could defeat them in 1 move. What he did not know was that a month ago, Zhou Donghuang would not have been able to do this. After a month, with the help of the Qi-gathering elixir that could increase the sensitivity to Qi by 6 times, Zhou Donghuang had successfully attained level 4 of Qi-gathering, becoming a level 4 adept with the strength of 4 bulls. Coupled with his extreme muscle strength, even if he did not use any martial arts techniques, his current power was no weaker than that of an ordinary level 5 adept. Zhao Jin was unlucky. This was because Zhou Donghuang had broken through to level 4 just a quarter of an hour ago. Governor Zhao. Zhou Donghuang stepped on Zhao Jinan and looked calmly at the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisang. He smiled and said, "The old dog you brought scared my mother. I'm teaching him a lesson. You don't have any objections?" Provocation. A blatant provocation. To the onlookers, Zhou Donghuang's actions were undoubtedly a blatant provocation to Zhao Lisang, the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture. Just as they thought Zhao Lisang would be angry, he looked at Zhou Donghuang and smiled. "Of course I have no objections." He then turned to Zhao San, who was behind him, and said, "Third brother, bring the congratulatory gift from the governor's household to President Lin." "Yes, big brother." Zhao San stepped forward and took out a large stack of banknotes and handed them to Lin Lan. He said respectfully, "President Lin, the governor's household, the Zhao family, congratulates the Magnolia Guild on its grand opening. Please accept these 500,000 taels of silver." Lin Lan hesitated. Her son had just beaten up the head elder of the governor's household, and it did not seem appropriate to accept a congratulatory gift from the Zhao family now. "Mother, accept it." Finally, it was Zhou Donghuang who spoke, and Lin Lan accepted the banknotes and thanked Zhao Lisang. "Thank you, Governor." At the same time, Zhou Donghuang removed his foot from Zhao Jinan and walked back to Lin Lan's side. Zhao Jinan's face was ashen. Although Zhou Donghuang's technique had caused him to lose face, it had convinced him, and he no longer dared to have any thoughts of competing with Zhou Donghuang. As Zhao San helped Zhao Jinan up and returned to Zhao Lishang's side, Zhao Lisang cupped his hands in greeting to Zhou Donghuang and said with a smile, "Young Master Zhou, if you have time in the future, feel free to visit the Zhao family as a guest." "All right." Zhou Donghuang nodded lightly. "President Lin, farewell." After bidding farewell to Lin Lan, Zhao Lisang left with Zhao San and Zhao Jinan. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, they boarded the carriage that was already waiting by the roadside. As they entered the carriage, Zhao Lishang's expression became serious, and he was no longer as calm as before. Chief, that Zhou Dongwang is 100% a level 5 adept of qi gathering, Zhao Jin said with a bitter smile. Head Elder, it has been hard on you to test Zhou Dongwang this time, Zhao Lisheng said apologetically. From Zhao Lishang's words, it was obvious that what Zhao Jin had done earlier was Zhao Lishang's idea. Chief, for the sake of the family, this is nothing, but after today's test, even if we cannot be friends with Zhou Dongwang, we cannot be enemies, Zhao Jin said with a solemn expression. I know. Zhao Lisheng nodded and his eyes flashed. Based on the ability he has displayed today, even I would not dare to say that I can defeat him. The most frightening thing is, he is only 17 this year. Chapter 58. A level 5 adept at the age of 17. Of these 2 points, just the latter alone was enough to cause a stir in Yunfeng Prefecture, and with the former, it could be said to be unprecedented in the history of the country of Yunyang. On March 10, 1228 of the Ziyun era, Zhou Dongwang, the son of Guild Master Lin Lan of the Magnolia Guild, had trampled head elder Zhao Jin and of the governor's household, Zhao Jinan, to the ground outside the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild. After the incident, the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisheng, still smiled at Zhou Dongwang. When this news spread, the entire capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture was shaken. Now it can be confirmed that Zhou Dongwang is indeed a level 5 adept. If he was not a level 5 adept, he would not have been able to trample Zhao Jin in one move. That is Zhao Jin, the most powerful adept in Yunfeng Prefecture below the level 5 adept. An ordinary level 4 adept cannot compare to him. Looks like our Yunfeng Prefecture has another level 5 adept after the governor. Even the governor is so afraid of him. His ability must be no less than the governor's. Most importantly, he is only 17 this year. Only 17 years old, but he is already so terrifying. In another 10 or 20 years, will anyone in the country of Yunyang be his match? Looks like our Yunfeng Prefecture is going to have an earth-shattering figure. Zhou Dongwang had now become the talk of the town, and most people could not help but give him a thumbs-up in approval. A few people who had a grudge against Zhou Dongwang hated him so much that they could not wait for the heavens to strike him down with a bolt of lightning out of jealousy. The Magnolia Guild. Although it had been open for some time, the number of people entering and leaving the Magnolia Guild had not decreased. Instead, it had increased, to the point where the door of the Magnolia Guild was almost broken. These people were from the upper echelons of the lesser families outside the capital, and they had come to the Magnolia Guild to seek a partnership. They all expressed that they were willing to give the Magnolia Guild the most in the process of a partnership, even if they were to suffer some losses. And they did this for no other reason than the fact that the Magnolia Guild had Zhou Dongwang. These days, Lin Lan always had a bright smile on her face. She was tired but happy. In the past, she had operated the Magnolia Guild to earn money for the Lin family, but now it was all her own money, and she no longer had to hand it over to anyone. In the past, the Magnolia Guild had only been able to continue doing business because of the Lin family's backing. And now, the Magnolia Guild was backed by her son, Zhou Dongwang. She did not even have to put in the effort to seek a partnership, and a group of people would come knocking on her door and offer to give the Magnolia Guild the largest share of the profits. After the Magnolia Guild opened for business, Zhou Dongwang stayed in his room and continued to focus on his practice. For him, cultivating and improving his strength was the most important thing. I hope Lu Qinghu can get most of those herbs. If he can, the quality of the qi-gathering elixir can be improved further. A month ago, Zhou Dongwang had given Lu Qinghu a list of herbs and instructed him to mobilize the power of the Lu family to search for the herbs on the list. Now, with the formula of the qi-gathering elixir that Zhou Dongwang had given them, the Lu family had even expanded the qi-gathering elixir business to the other prefectures around Yunfeng Prefecture, and their network had expanded considerably. The expansion of their network undoubtedly made it easier for Zhou Donghuang to search for herbs. Time passed quietly. In the blink of an eye, it was March 22, 1228 of the Ziyun era. Young master, Chief Lu is here. Zhou Donghuang, who had been practicing in his room, was startled by Fu's voice coming from the door, and his eyes lit up at the same time. Lu Qinghu had most likely come to deliver the herbs. And Zhou Donghuang had guessed correctly. Lu Qinghu had delivered a portion of the herbs he needed. Young Master Donghuang, the Lu family has only found 2/3 of the herbs you requested. We are still searching for the remaining 1/3. Lu Qinghu said guiltily after handing the herbs to Zhou Donghuang. These herbs, Zhou Donghuang's attention was completely attracted by the herbs in his hands, and after confirming which herbs were in them, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. Just right. In the list he had given Lu Qinghu, some of the herbs had similar effects, and the reason he had included herbs with similar effects was to make it easier for Lu Qinghu to find them. With these herbs, I can formulate a qi-gathering elixir that increases the sensitivity to qi by 7 times. Zhou Donghuang's heart leaped, and his eyes shone even brighter. There's no need to search for the other herbs. The 2/3 of these herbs can be used to replace those herbs. Zhou Donghuang said to Lu Qinghu. Lu Qinghu, who had been looking guiltily at first, was taken aback by Zhou Donghuang's words, and then heaved a sigh of relief. That's good, that's good. Take this. Zhou Donghuang casually threw a piece of paper and 3 bottles of qi-gathering elixir to Lu Qinghu, and after a brief greeting, he returned to his room to formulate a better qi-gathering elixir. With the new qi-gathering elixir, the speed of his practice would be further increased. When Lu Qinghu saw the contents of the paper that Zhou Donghuang had given him, his eyes narrowed sharply. This is the formula for a qi-gathering elixir that increases the sensitivity to qi by 90%? A qi-gathering elixir that increased the sensitivity to qi by 90% was second only to the qi-gathering elixir that the superior-level medicine master of the imperial court of Yunyang could formulate. At that moment, Lu Qinghu's breathing quickened uncontrollably. However, when he returned home and used one of the 3 bottles of qi-gathering elixir that Zhou Donghuang had given him, and after practicing for a while, he was once again dumbfounded. This qi-gathering elixir can actually increase the sensitivity to qi by 6 times? In the past, the qi-gathering elixirs that Lu Qinghu had used were those that Zhou Donghuang had given him that could increase the sensitivity to qi by 3 times. And today, the 3 bottles of qi-gathering elixir that Zhou Donghuang had given him were the ones that Zhou Donghuang usually kept in reserve, the ones that could increase the sensitivity to qi by 6 times. Young Master Donghuang, who exactly is he? After being stunned for a moment, Lu Qinghu carefully took out the remaining 2 bottles of qi-gathering elixir from his bosom. When he looked at the 2 bottles again, his gaze was unusually bright, like a lecherous man looking at 2 stunning beauties. Previously, he had been using a qi-gathering elixir that increased the sensitivity to qi by 3 times. Now that he had suddenly switched to a qi-gathering elixir that increased the sensitivity to qi by 6 times, only Lu Qinghu himself could understand how much of an impact it had on him. Looks like if we follow young Master Donghuang, our Lu family will not only become a grand family, but even a tycoon family or even a king. Lu Qinghu's eyes lit up, and at the same time, he was even more determined to follow Zhou Donghuang. Naturally, Zhou Donghuang was unaware of all this. This time, the reason why Zhou Donghuang had given Lu Qinghu a qi-gathering elixir that increased the sensitivity to qi by 6 times was because he had seen Lu Qinghu's efficiency. Moreover, after spending some time together, he was quite satisfied with Lu Qinghu's character. March 25, 1228 of the Ziyun era. A carriage pulled by 3 Fergana horses entered the capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture unhurriedly. As it weaved through the busy streets, it attracted the attention of many passers-by. On the left and right sides of the carriage, a middle-aged man riding a Fergana horse followed the carriage like a shadow, The 5 Fergana horses were in the same frame, looking majestic and awe-inspiring. The rate of heads turning was almost 100%. Under the gaze of the crowd, the carriage stopped in front of the mansion of the preeminent Li family. Seeing this, many people were shocked. They are actually going to the Li family? I've long heard that the first young lady of the Li family is married to the junior governor of the intermediate prefecture of Guangling Prefecture. Could it be that she's back to visit her family? Most likely. I heard that the governor of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, is a grand family. Only a family with a level 6 adept can become a grand family, and the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture is said to be no ordinary grand family, and they have many level 6 adepts. The governor's household in Guangling Prefecture is much more powerful than the one in Yunfeng Prefecture. Under the gaze of the crowd, the middle-aged men on the Fergana horses on both sides of the carriage jumped off their horses and stood guard on either side of the carriage, scanning their surroundings warily. "Young master, young mistress, we've arrived." One of the 2 drivers pulled open the curtains of the carriage, while the other jumped off and sprawled on the ground. In the next moment the crowd saw a rather handsome young man with sword-like eyebrows and starry eyes, dressed in brocade robes, walked out of the carriage, stepping on the back of the coachman who was lying on the ground and slowly getting off the carriage. I was wondering why the driver was sprawled on the ground. Turns out he was acting as a ladder for the people in the carriage. Poverty has limited my imagination. You can play like this? First time. Many passers-by sighed. Following that, the crowd saw that after the handsome young man in brocade stepped out of the carriage, a young lady dressed very lavishly also stepped out of the carriage, stepping on the back of the driver. After alighting from the carriage, the lady very naturally held the young man's hand and walked towards the main gate of the Li family household. The 2 middle-aged men on the Fergana horses followed closely behind them, one on the left and one on the right to protect them. First young mistress. It's first young mistress. The 2 Li family juniors standing at the main gate of the Li family household were initially stunned by the sight of the 5 Fergana horses, but their eyes lit up when they saw the lady walking towards them. Hearing the 2 Li family juniors address the lady respectfully, the crowd of onlookers suddenly understood. It really is the first young mistress of the Li family who married into the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture. That means the young man first young mistress Li is holding is the first young master of the Wu family, the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanxuan. No wonder he's the first young master of a grand family. What a grand entrance. Chapter 59. Young Master, Chief Lu is here. 3 days later, Zhou Dongwang, who had been practicing in his room, was once again startled awake by Fu. It was also because of Lu Qinghu's visit. What's the matter? Zhou Dongwang sat cross-legged on the bed, looking at Lu Qinghu who had just entered the room. Young Master Dongwang. Lu Qinghu bowed to Zhou Dongwang and said with a serious expression, I just received news. The First Lady of the Li family has returned. So what? Zhou Dongwang's expression did not change. The First Lady of the Li family, Li Kaiyun, did not return alone, she returned with her man. Lu Qinghu's eyes were filled with fear. Her man is the first young master of the Wu family of the intermediate level Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanxuan. The Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture is a grand family, and there are many level 6 adepts in the family. Even when the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan, goes out, he has at least 2 level 5 adepts with him. As Lu Qinghu spoke, he took a deep breath and looked at Zhou Dongwang. Young Master Dongwang, the second young master of the Li family you killed, Li Pingyun, was the younger brother of Li Kaiyun. I'm worried that she will instigate Wu Nanxuan to avenge her brother and harm you. Lu Qinghu voiced his concern. You rushed here so anxiously just to say this? Zhou Dongwang shook his head, feeling that Lu Qinghu was making a mountain out of a molehill. Young Master Dongwang, that's a grand family. Lu Qinghu could not help but remind Zhou Donghuang again when he saw that Zhou Donghuang did not seem to mind. In a grand family, there was at least a level 6 adept holding the fort. And in the Grand Wu family there were 5 level 6 adepts, and there were no less than 20 level 5 adepts. Even the governor's household of Yunfeng Prefecture, the Zhao family, only had 1 level 5 adept. If there's nothing else, you can go back, don't disturb my practice. Zhou Donghuang looked at Lu Qinghu impatiently, and after saying that, he closed his eyes and continued practicing. 3 days ago, he had formulated a qi-gathering elixir that could increase the sensitivity to qi by 7 times. In these 3 days, his rate of practice had increased. Previously, with the help of the qi-gathering elixir that increased the sensitivity to qi by 6 times, he had broken through from level 3 to level 4 of qi-gathering in about 40 days, attaining level 4 on March 10, 1228 of the Ziyun era. It was now the 25th of March, 1228 of the Ziyun era. Even with the qi-gathering elixir that increases the sensitivity to qi by 7 times, I would still need close to 2 months to attain level 5 of qi-gathering. After closing his eyes again to practice, he sighed to himself. Perhaps it's time to find an opportunity to make a trip to the capital. The capital city was the second largest city in the country of Yunyang, second only to the imperial city. Not only was it prosperous, but the medicinal herbs that could be bought there were also more abundant and complete. Yunfeng Prefecture was located within the western ridge of the Chu King, and the household that controlled the western ridge of the Chu King was the Chu royal household. Within the western ridge of the Chu King, including Yunfeng Prefecture, there were many inferior, intermediate, and superior prefectures under the control of the Chu royal household. And the Chu royal household was located in the Chu royal city within the western ridge of the Chu King. Young Master Donghuang, inside the room, seeing that Zhou Donghuang had closed his eyes and was beginning to practice, ignoring him, Lu Qinghu's lips curled into a bitter smile, but at the same time, his eyes began to shine unusually brightly. This young Master Donghuang's nonchalance made him feel a strong sense of self-confidence. It looks like young Master Donghuang is not afraid of the Wu family that governs the Guangling Prefecture. At this thought, Lu Qinghu's apprehension disappeared, and his expression changed to a smile. In the past, Zhou Donghuang had shocked Lu Qinghu so much that Lu Qinghu now had an almost blind trust in Zhou Donghuang. Following that, Lu Qinghu quietly left Zhou Donghuang's room and carefully closed the door. Just as Lu Qinghu was about to leave the Magnolia Guild, he saw Fu walking towards him. There was another person by Fu's side. It was a strange and cold face. This was a young man dressed in black and wearing a bamboo hat. His expression was cold and stern, and he exuded an icy aura that kept people at arm's length. Chief Lu. Seeing Lu Qinghu, Fu greeted him with a smile. Fu, this is... Even though Fu was only a servant of Zhou Donghuang, Lu Qinghu was still very polite to him, not daring to slight him. Previously, the first young master of the Ma family, Ma Jin, had been crippled by Zhou Donghuang because he had kicked Fu. This is freezing wind, brotherling. Fu replied to Lu Qinghu as he introduced him to the young man in black. Brotherling, this is Chief Lu of the preeminent Lu family. The young man in black casually glanced at Lu Qinghu, nodded slightly, and looked away. This young man in black was the former second-in-command of Green Wolf Bastion, Freezing Wind. In the first month of the 1228 year of the Ziyun era, Freezing Wind had gone out on Zhou Donghuang's orders. He had been gone for more than 2 months and had only returned the previous day. However, upon returning to Qingshan town, he found out that his young master had gone to the prefecture capital, so Freezing Wind rode his Fergana horse to the prefecture capital. Back in Qingshan town, Freezing Wind knew that his young master's name had spread throughout the entire Yunfeng prefecture. Now, even the governor of Yunfeng prefecture had to show his young master some respect. Freezing Wind's return startled Zhou Donghuang, who had just immersed himself in his practice. Young master. In the room, freezing wind bowed to Zhou Donghuang, and his originally cold face broke into a smile. How did it go? Zhou Donghuang asked freezing wind. 2 months ago, he had sent freezing wind out to find some strong-willed orphans and select the best of the best to groom them into martial adept. For this, he had taught freezing wind the acupuncture technique he had used on freezing wind previously, the godly needle of tendon changing, marrow cleansing. The godly needle of tendon changing, marrow cleansing was something that Zhou Donghuang had accidentally obtained in his previous life on Earth. As long as the target could withstand the extreme pain during the acupuncture process, they would be able to activate the maximum strength of their muscles. Young master, I found a total of more than 300 orphans, and after knowing the risks of the godly needle of tendon changing, marrow cleansing, there were a total of 282 who volunteered. In the end, only 3 managed to withstand it and successfully activate the maximum strength of their muscles. At this point, freezing wind paused, as if he had something to say. Speak. Seeing that freezing wind wanted to say something, Zhou Donghuang spoke calmly. Young master. Freezing wind knelt on the ground with a thud. According to your request, the rest of the people I found were all above 12 years old. However, there was a little girl who was only 9 years old. And it was this 9-year-old girl who withstood the pain that more than 200 youths could not withstand, and activated the maximum strength of her muscles. Freezing wind said, Do you think my words are inconsequential? Zhou Donghuang's gaze turned cold, and his voice also turned icy in an instant, chilling to the bone. A 9-year-old girl rashly activated the maximum strength of her muscles. Her life has been ruined by you. Initially, when Zhou Donghuang had asked freezing wind to find someone, he had only 2 requirements. She had to be a willing orphan. She had to be above 12 years old. Before the age of 12, the body had not even started to develop. If she rashly activated the maximum strength of her muscles, the body would not be able to continue developing, and she would only be able to maintain that size for the rest of her life until she died of old age. For that kind of person, if they wanted to have an adult body, they could only wait until they reached the primordial soul stage. Then, the primordial soul would leave the body and give up the body of an adult. Young master. Freezing wind smiled bitterly. I dare not disobey your orders, but that girl is different. At that time, I took the other 2 orphans with her, but she insisted on coming with me, saying that if I did not take her with me, she would die in front of me. Because of this, she ran headfirst into a brick wall, and if I had not intervened in time, she would have been dead. Seeing that she was not even afraid of death, I told her the consequences, and she said that she wanted revenge, even if she had to maintain her 9-year-old body for the rest of her life. Later, the 2 orphans with her could not withstand the extreme pain of the godly needle of tendon changing, marrow cleansing, but she withstood it. Freezing wind paused before continuing, Young master, I taught her the 1,000-star sword technique and gave her a chi-gathering elixir that increased her sensitivity to chi by 6 times. In just 2 months, she has already attained level 2 of chi-gathering. Now, although her maximum strength is only 500 or 600 jin, based on the techniques she has mastered, her ability is no weaker than that of an ordinary level 3 adept. Freezing wind said, Different people received different amounts of strength when they activated the maximum strength in their bodies. Freezing wind was a grown man with a strong body, and when he activated the maximum strength in his body, he received an increase of more than 1,000 jin of strength. But for a 9-year-old girl, even if she activated the maximum strength in her body, the increase in strength would be very limited. Not only can she withstand the godly needle of tendon changing, marrow cleansing, but she has attained level 2 of chi gathering in just 2 months? Zhou Donghuang's eyes narrowed. It looks like she is not only strong-willed, but also very talented in martial arts. Yesterday, the 4 of us reached Qinshan town together. Now, I am the first to rush back on my Fergana horse. They do not have Fergana horses, so they will only arrive in 2 or 3 days. As he spoke, Freezing Wind took out a brocade box and handed it to Zhou Donghuang. Young master, this is a 1,000-year red fruit that I obtained by chance on this trip. 1,000-year red fruit. Chapter 60. The vermilion fruit was a rare treasure that could increase the level of practice of adept. It was extremely rare and could only be found by chance. The vermilion fruit was divided into 100-year vermilion fruit, 1,000-year vermilion fruit, and 10,000-year vermilion fruit. For anyone below level 3 of Qi gathering, 100-year vermilion fruit could increase their level of practice by 1 level in a few days. Even an ordinary person who did not practice could attain level 1 of Qi gathering in a few days after consuming a 100-year vermilion fruit. For anyone below level 6 of Qi gathering, a 1,000-year vermilion fruit could increase their level of practice by at least 1 level in a few days, and those with lower levels could even increase their level of practice by more than 2 levels. For anyone below level 9 of Qi gathering, a 10,000-year vermilion fruit could increase their level of practice by at least 1 level in a few days, and those with lower levels could even increase their level of practice by more than 4 levels. In the history of the country of Yunyang, a 10,000-year vermilion fruit had never appeared, and 1,000-year vermilion fruits had only appeared a few times. But the 100-year vermilion fruit was more common, and every time it appeared, it would cause a fight for it, even causing a bloodbath. It really is a 1,000-year vermilion fruit. Zhou Donghuang opened the brocade box that Freezing Wind had passed to him and saw a vermilion fruit, about the size of a baby's fist, giving off a refreshing aroma. In his previous life, when he had stood at the pinnacle of the universe, even a 10,000-year vermilion fruit would have been no different from an ordinary apple on earth to him, much less a 1,000-year vermilion fruit. But now, this 1,000-year vermilion fruit caused a slight ripple in his originally calm heart. You must have attained level 3 of Qi gathering by now? Zhou Donghuang asked Freezing Wind. Freezing Wind nodded. Thanks to the 1,000-star sword technique and the Qi gathering elixir that young master taught me, I attained level 3 of Qi gathering 6 days ago. Since you recognize this 1,000-year vermilion fruit, it means that you know what it is used for. If you consume it, your level of practice will immediately reach level 4 of Qi gathering, or even close to level 5 of Qi gathering. Zhou Donghuang looked deeply at Freezing Wind and said, Actually, you can consume it privately to increase your level of practice. Zhou Donghuang knew very well how tempting the 1,000-year fruit was. Even if Freezing Wind did not consume the 1,000-year red fruit himself, he could give it to the Chu royal family, or even the imperial court of Yunyang country, and the Chu royal family and the imperial court of Yunyang country would not mistreat Freezing Wind. Young master must be joking. Freezing Wind shook his head, his eyes filled with determination. You've given Freezing Wind a new lease on life. Freezing Wind has no way to repay you. This 1,000-year red fruit is just a small token of my appreciation. It's rare for you to be so considerate. Zhou Donghuang nodded. Fortunately, you did not consume the 1,000-year fruit. Consuming it directly can only help one person increase their level of practice. If I use it as the main ingredient and combine it with some other medicinal ingredients to concoct a medicinal liquid, I will be able to concoct 10 bottles of medicinal liquid. Moreover, the medicinal effect of each bottle will not be any weaker than the medicinal effect of the medicinal liquid itself. Zhou Donghuang said. Freezing Wind was stunned by Zhou Donghuang's words. Didn't that mean that in the hands of his young master, a 1,000-year vermilion fruit was equivalent to 10,000-year vermilion fruits? When I'm done concocting the medicinal liquid, I'll give you a bottle. Zhou Donghuang said again. Young master, you should keep the medicinal liquid for yourself. This way, your level of practice will definitely increase greatly. Freezing Wind said. Zhou Donghuang shook his head. Concocting a medicinal liquid with the 1,000-year red fruit as the main ingredient will only be effective the first time. This is because after the first use, the body will develop a resistance to the medicine, and a second or even multiple uses will not be of any help to practice. As freezing wind left, Zhou Dongwang wrote a list for him to pass to Granny Lien. The medicinal ingredients on the list were needed to concoct the medicinal liquid with the 1,000-year red fruit. They were not rare ingredients, and they could be easily gathered in the capital of Yunfeng Prefecture. That night, Granny Lien delivered the ingredients to Zhou Dongwang. Within an hour, Zhou Dongwang had concocted 10 bottles of medicinal liquid. With this medicinal liquid, I will definitely attain level 5 of Qi gathering within 3 days. After concocting the medicinal liquid, Zhou Dongwang called Fu over and gave him 5 bottles of medicinal liquid. Fu, of these 5 bottles of medicinal liquid, take 1 for yourself, and give the remaining 4 to my mother, Granny Lien, Freezing Wind, and Lu Qinghu. Young master, what medicinal liquid is this? Fu asked curiously. Aren't you about to attain level 2 of Qi gathering? Take this medicinal liquid and absorb all of its effects, and you will be able to attain level 3 of Qi gathering immediately. Zhou Dongwang smiled. Fu naturally trusted Zhou Dongwang's words unconditionally, and because of this, he was stunned for a moment before recovering his wits, his face filled with joy. Thank you, young master. Fu knelt down and kowtowed in thanks before turning to leave. Of the 10 bottles of medicinal liquid, Zhou Dongwang had given Fu 5 bottles, and there were still 5 left. He consumed 1 bottle and began practicing, based on Zhou Dongwang's 1,000 years of practice. He knew very well how to absorb the medicinal liquid as quickly as possible. Therefore, in just 2 days and 2 nights, he had completely absorbed the medicinal liquid and successfully attained level 5 of Qi gathering. Moreover, it was not as simple as just attaining level 5 of Qi gathering. With my current level of practice, with the help of the Qi gathering elixir that increases the sensitivity to Qi by 7 times, I will be able to attain level 6 of Qi gathering in 3 months at most. I never thought that Freezing Wind would be so lucky to even obtain a 1,000-year red fruit. This is a pleasant surprise. After attaining level 5 of Qi gathering, Zhou Dongwang did not continue practicing and walked out of his room. Ever since the opening of the Magnolia Guild, he had rarely stepped out of his room. Usually, he ate and drank in his room, and apart from that, he slept and practiced. I don't think I've had the chance to stroll around the capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture. With this thought, Zhou Dongwang walked towards the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, preparing to go out for a walk. As he passed by the living room, Zhou Dongwang heard a familiar voice speaking to his mother, Lin Lan. Sister Lan, I'm so envious of you for having such a good son. He's only 17, but he's already a level 5 adept, unlike this daughter of mine, who is only a year younger than Zhou Dongwang, but has not even attained level 1 of Qi gathering. Hearing this, Zhou Dongwang guessed who the speaker was. It was obviously the guild master of the Qingyun Guild in Ningping Town, Li Yun, who had been a good friend of his mother for many years. And Li Yun was also Li Rui's mother. Compared to Li Rui, he had a much better impression of Li Yun. Sister Yun, you flatter me. I haven't seen Xiao Rui for a few years. She's really changed a lot, and she's getting more and more beautiful. Lin Lan's voice followed. Aunt Lan, you're still as beautiful as ever. Hearing Li Rui's voice, Zhou Dongwang could not help but smile mockingly. He had never thought that Li Rui would have the cheek to follow her mother to visit his mother. Mother! Now, Zhou Dongwang was in no hurry to leave, and he strode directly into the living room. Aunt Yun. Standing beside Lin Lan, Zhou Dongwang smiled at Li Yun, who was standing with Li Rui. Dongwang, you're here at the right time. It's rare for your Aunt Yun to come to the prefecture capital. Let's have lunch with your Aunt Yun and sister Xiao Rui this afternoon. Lin Lan looked at Zhou Dongwang dotingly and smiled as she said this. All right. Zhou Dongwang nodded. Dongwang, Aunt Yun really did not expect that you could attain level 5 of Qi gathering at the age of 17, Even in the entire younger generation of the country of Yunyang, I'm afraid no one can compare to you. Li Yun smiled brightly as she praised him. As she spoke, Li Yun glanced at Li Rui beside her. Why are you just standing there without greeting us? As soon as Li Yun finished speaking, Li Rui looked at Zhou Donghuang, blushing, and said bashfully, Big brother Donghuang. You flatter me. Zhou Donghuang replied casually, no longer as enthusiastic as he had been with Li Yun. Noticing Zhou Donghuang's indifference to Li Rui, Lin Lan frowned slightly. Donghuang, why are you speaking to your sister Xiao Rui like that? Mother, she doesn't like me, and I can't possibly stick my face to her cold bottom, can I? Zhou Donghuang shook his head lightly. What's going on? At this time, Lin Lan also vaguely realized that something unpleasant must have happened between her son and Li Rui. Otherwise, based on her understanding of her son, he would not have been so rude. Aunt Lan, don't blame Big Brother Donghuang, it's all Xiao Rui's fault. Xiao Rui met Big Brother Donghuang earlier and angered him. Li Rui said with tears in her eyes, looking very pitiful. Just as Lin Lan's heart softened at Li Rui's appearance, Zhou Donghuang looked at Li Rui and smiled lightly. Li Rui, you and Aunt Yun must have set off from Ningping town together and just arrived at the prefecture capital. You haven't returned to the Li family yet, right? Li Rui started, not knowing why Zhou Donghuang was saying this. She and her mother had indeed just arrived at the prefecture capital. Some time ago, after finding out that Lin Lan's Magnolia Guild had reopened in the prefecture capital, she had returned to Ningping town and called her mother, Li Yun, to come to the prefecture capital with the excuse of visiting Lin Lan in order to get close to Zhou Donghuang and mend their relationship. In her opinion, with her beauty, as long as she was a little gentler, Zhou Donghuang would definitely be at her feet. You probably don't know 2 days ago, that first mistress of the Li family returned? Zhou Donghuang looked deeply at Li Rui and said unhurriedly, returning with her was the first young master of the Wu family, the governor's household of the intermediate prefecture Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanxuan. TSK, if she knew that you, a collateral descendant of the Li family, were actually hanging out with me, the person who killed her brother, she would probably expel you from the Li family. As he spoke, Zhou Donghuang chuckled. His words caused Li Rui's expression to change drastically. Even Li Yun, who was standing beside Li Rui, had a complete change of expression. Just as Li Rui and Li Yun's expressions changed, Granny Lian's voice came from outside the hall. Chapter 61. Morning of March 27, 1228 of the Ziyun era. A carriage pulled by 3 Fergana horses was parked at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild. On each side of the carriage stood a middle-aged man riding a Fergana horse. In front of the carriage stood another Fergana horse at the bottom of the steps leading to the main entrance of the guild. On this Fergana horse sat a handsome middle-aged man of medium build. He looked in the direction of the main entrance of the guild, his eyes filled with a cold, bloodthirsty hatred. The 6 Fergana horses looked majestic and insufferably arrogant. Because of this, when the 6 Fergana horses arrived, they attracted many onlookers. That carriage looks like it belongs to the son-in-law of the Li family, the first young master of the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture? The middle-aged man at the front is the chief of the Li family, Li Jingyu. Looks like the Li family is going to settle the score with Zhou Donghuang of the Magnolia Guild today. After all, the second young master of the Li family, Li Pingyun, died at Zhou Donghuang's hands. In the past, the Li family did not have the ability to take revenge and could only endure. Now that first young mistress of the Li family and the junior governor of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture have returned, the Li family will definitely not give up on this opportunity. 2 days ago, when I heard that the junior governor of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture had come, I knew that the Li family would definitely make trouble for Zhou Donghuang. It was only a matter of time. As time passed, the crowd grew, and the main road leading to the Magnolia Guild was completely packed. At the same time, the various preeminent families in the capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture, including the governor's household and the Zhao family, were also paying attention to the situation at the Magnolia Guild. They were all curious. Could Zhou Dongwang break out of this trap? Zhou Dongwang is out. Very quickly, the crowd of onlookers saw a handsome young man in white with an extraordinary aura walk out slowly with his hands behind his back from behind the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild. Behind the young man, two people walked out. It was the guild master of the Magnolia Guild, Lin Lan, and her old servant, Granny Lien. Young Master Dongwang. Just as Zhou Dongwang came out, the second master of the Lu family, Lu Bao, and a few elders of the Lu family behind him, bowed to Zhou Dongwang. Zhou Dongwang nodded slightly and walked to the front of the steps. His expression was calm as he looked at the middle-aged man riding a Fergana horse. Li Jingyu? Zhou Dongwang. Seeing Zhou Dongwang, the enemy who had killed his son, Li Jingyu, the patriarch of the Li family, could no longer control his emotions. Besides the rising murderous intent in his eyes, his handsome face had also become distorted. You killed my son, Li Pingyun. Today, my Li family will make you pay with your life. Li Jingyu's voice was bone-chilling, causing many of the onlookers to feel their hairs stand on end. With just your Li family? Zhou Dongwang shook his head and smiled disdainfully. His gaze fell on the carriage not far away. Or should I say, just based on the helpers that your Li family has found, you think that your Li family can defeat me? That's right. Our Li family's son-in-law, the young governor of Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanshuan, Li Jingyu said proudly. Although he was puzzled to see that Zhou Dongwang had not panicked or lost his composure, he thought that Zhou Dongwang was putting on an act and bluffing. So what if Zhou Dongwang was a level 5 adept? Could he possibly challenge the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture? The Wu family was a grand family with many level 6 adepts. Moreover, in his opinion, the two level 5 adepts by his son-in-law's side were enough to take down Zhou Dongwang easily. Looks like this son-in-law of yours has given you a lot of courage. You actually dare to challenge me, Zhou Dongwang. Zhou Dongwang smiled slightly. Zhou Dongwang. Just as Zhou Dongwang finished speaking, a shrill and angry voice sounded from within the carriage. Following that, a rather pretty girl dressed in luxurious clothes lifted the curtain of the carriage and walked out. It was the first young lady of the Li family, Li Kaiyun. Seeing this, the coachman hurriedly jumped off the carriage and sprawled on the ground, using his back as a ladder for Li Kaiyun. Li Kaiyun stepped on the coachman's back and stared coldly at Zhou Dongwang. Today, with Brother Sun here, you will definitely die. Zhou Dongwang ignored her and looked at the person who had stepped out of the carriage behind Li Kaiyun. He said coldly, Are you the first young master of the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture? Today, if you don't step out of the carriage, you and I will be fine. But if you dare step out of the carriage and meddle in this matter, don't even think of leaving in one piece. Zhou Dongwang directly threatened the person who was about to step out of the carriage. It was the first young master of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanshuan. As soon as Zhou Dongwang said this, there was a dead silence. Zhou Dongwang is threatening the junior governor of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture? My God! The governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, is a grand family with many level 6 adepts. Does Zhou Dongwang think that the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, has the same power as the governor's household of Yunfeng Prefecture, the Zhao family? Newborn calves are really not afraid of tigers. If he dares to threaten the first young master of the Wu family like this, he will only die faster. The crowd of onlookers whispered among themselves and shook their heads, thinking that Zhou Dongwang was going to be in big trouble. In their eyes, Zhou Dongwang was a level 5 adept of qi gathering, and even the governor's household of Yunfeng Prefecture, the Zhao family, feared him. But this time, It was someone from the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, and it was the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan. The governor's household of Yunfeng Prefecture, the Zhao family, was a preeminent family. But the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, was a grand family with many level 6 adepts and no less than 20 level 5 adepts. A mere level 5 adept was not even worth mentioning in front of the grand Wu family. How dare you! The middle-aged men on the Fergana horses on both sides of the carriage glared at Zhou Donghuang, their eyes flashing with murderous intent. Interesting. At the same time, an angry laugh came from within the carriage. The person who had stopped instinctively because of Zhou Donghuang's words stepped out of the carriage. It was a young man dressed in a brocade robe. He was handsome and had an air of innate arrogance about him. The moment he appeared, he became the center of attention. He is the first young master of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanxuan? No wonder he is the first young master of a grand family. His aura is so strong that the young masters of the preeminent families can't compare. After Wu Nanxuan stepped out of the carriage, the two middle-aged men on the Fergana horses on both sides of the carriage also dismounted and followed behind Wu Nanxuan. Brother Sun, this Zhou Donghuang looks like he doesn't care about you and the Wu family at all in my opinion. We can't let him die so easily today. Let's torture him first before killing him. Li Kaiyun held Wu Nanxuan's hand as she spoke coquettishly. As she spoke, she looked at Zhou Donghuang, her eyes filled with murderous intent. However, Wu Nanxuan did not respond to her. He took a few steps forward and looked at Zhou Donghuang calmly as he said, Zhou Donghuang, at the age of 17, you are a level 5 adept of qi gathering. I have to say, your martial talent is not bad. However, a genius like you will only live to this day. As he spoke, there was a hint of jealousy in the depths of Wu Nanxuan's eyes, besides the murderous intent. A kid from a small town had such a high talent in martial arts and was even stronger than him. Wasn't this setting off his incompetence as the young master of a wealthy family? I gave you a chance. Zhou Donghuang glanced at Wu Nanxuan. However, since you don't cherish it, then don't blame me. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhou Donghuang moved without any warning. With a strange footwork, his body shot out like a cannonball towards the patriarch of the Li family, Li Jingyu, who was closest to him. Bang! Zhou Donghuang's speed was extremely fast. He flew in front of Li Jingyu and landed a palm on his head. Only then did Li Jingyu react. His eyes narrowed and his expression changed. However, this was the last expression Li Jingyu had in his life. With just one palm, Zhou Donghuang had killed Li Jingyu on his horse. Li Jingyu's body fell off the horse and lay limp on the ground, completely lifeless. Li Jingyu, the patriarch of the preeminent Li family of Yunfeng Prefecture, a level 4 adept of qi gathering, had been killed in the blink of an eye. From start to finish, he had not even had a chance to attack. When this scene appeared before the eyes of the spectators, they were once again dumbstruck. This Zhou Donghuang is so powerful. Too powerful. He killed a level 4 adept as easily as killing a dog. Even among the level 5 adepts of qi gathering, his ability would be considered strong, right? I wonder if the men brought by the first young master of the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture are a match for him. The two men accompanying the first young master of the Wu family seemed to be level 5 adepts, 2 against 1. How could they not defeat Zhou Donghuang? Many people's gazes fell on the two middle-aged men behind Wu Nanxuan. In an instant they realized, after witnessing Zhou Donghuang kill Li Jingyu, the patriarch of the Li family, with one palm, the indifferent expressions on these two middle-aged men's faces turned serious. Father! Li Kaiyun cried out as she recovered from her shock. She looked at Zhou Donghuang coldly, as if she could not wait to tear Zhou Donghuang into pieces. Brother Sun, avenge my father! Avenge my father! Li Kaiyun said anxiously to Wu Nanxuan. She did not want to see Zhou Donghuang alive now. Seeing that Zhou Donghuang had killed his father-in-law right in front of him, Wu Nanxuan felt that his dignity had been completely trampled on, and his face was so dark that it seemed as if it could drip water. Chapter 62. As soon as Wu Nanxuan finished speaking, the two middle-aged men behind him froze and answered in unison, "Yes, young master." At the same time, they all moved out at the same time. Whoosh, whoosh. As level 5 adepts of the Grand Wu family, both of them had practiced the lesser-grade swiftness technique of the Wu family, and when they moved, their bodies were as light as a feather, moving like a shadow. Clang, clang. Halfway to their destination, they drew their swords from the scabbards at their waists at almost the same time and charged at Zhou Donghuang, their sharp blades gleaming coldly. In the country of Yunyang, lesser-grade offensive techniques differed from each other. For example, saber skills, sword skills, and other martial skills that relied on weapons were much more valuable than fist skills and palm skills. The latter could be obtained from the preeminent families through the royal household. However, the former could only be obtained from the grand families through the royal household. Many of the preeminent families in Yunfeng Prefecture, including the governor's household and the Zhao family, did not have any offensive techniques that relied on weapons. Of course, when it came to offensive martial arts of the same level, the might of a martial art that relied on a weapon would naturally be much stronger than other offensive martial arts. Otherwise, why would some martial adepts spend so much effort to get their hands on a suitable weapon? Whoosh! Faced with the two menacing level 5 adepts, Zhou Donghuang used the star-stepping footwork and met them calmly. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhou Donghuang's hands formed claws, and the third-grade technique, piercing rock finger, which he had not used for a long time, appeared again. His 10 curved fingers were as firm as a rock, and they directly grabbed the blades of the two men. No matter how hard they tried, they could not pull their swords out of Zhou Donghuang's hands. Early that morning, Zhou Donghuang's level of practice had already reached level 5 of qi gathering, and with just his qi, he could exert the strength of 5 bulls, coupled with his extreme muscular strength. He could even defeat a level 6 adept in terms of pure strength. With his current strength, using a third-grade technique, he could easily defeat any level 5 adept in the country of Yunyang. Let go! As Zhou Donghuang spoke calmly, his arms shook violently, causing the webbing between their thumb and forefinger to crack. Fresh blood flowed, and he forcefully snatched the knives from their hands. Whoosh! Holding a knife in each hand, Zhou Donghuang's footsteps quickened as he dashed through the gap between the two of them. It was as if he had transformed into a bolt of lightning as he passed by the two of them. Poochie! Poochie! 2 soft sounds rang out. It was the blades of the 2 swords in Zhou Donghuang's hands, sweeping across the throats of the 2 men, bringing with it 2 gushes of hot blood that gushed out like a fountain. Ah, cough, cough, cough. Before the 2 middle-aged men died, they stretched out their hands and covered their throats with fear on their faces, trying to stop the bleeding. However, it was useless. After a while, they fell into a pool of blood with a loud bang. Clang! Clang! 2 bloodied sabers fell to the ground, and the crisp sound startled the onlookers. Everything had happened in the blink of an eye, so fast that the crowd could not keep up with the speed of Zhou Donghuang's attack. When they were startled awake, they saw the 2 men from the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture lying in a pool of blood, completely lifeless. And Zhou Donghuang himself was already standing not far from Wu Nanxuan and Li Kaiyun. Zhou Donghuang stood with his hands clasped behind his back, his gaze calm. His white robe fluttered in the wind, not tainted by a single drop of blood. His robe was as white as snow, untainted by dust. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed that it was Zhou Donghuang who had attacked. Looking at Zhou Donghuang now, it looked as if he had just strolled past them, not killed them all the way. Those 2, are they really level 5 adepts? If they are really level 5 adepts, isn't this Zhou Donghuang a little too strong? The onlookers once again looked at Zhou Donghuang in awe. Just a moment ago, they had thought that Zhou Donghuang was not a match for the two men, but in the blink of an eye, Zhou Donghuang had killed them both. It's a pity, you did not cherish the chance I gave you. Zhou Donghuang looked at Wu Nanxuan and smiled slightly. Now, when Wu Nanxuan looked at Zhou Donghuang again, his gaze was filled with fear, as if he had seen a ghost. No one present knew better than him the level of ability of the two middle-aged men beside him. Even among the more than 20 level 5 adepts of the Wu family, those two men would rank in the middle of the pack. But even so, they had been killed by Zhou Donghuang even when they had joined forces. Moreover, they had been killed in an instant. This Zhou Donghuang, even if he is not a level 6 adept, he is at least one of the best among the level 5 adepts. Wu Nanxuan's heart trembled. Was this really a 17-year-old youth? Not just in the country of Yunyang, even in the high and mighty valley of the Medicine Masters, which was superior to the country of Yunyang, there was probably no such monster. Zhou Donghuang, I am the first young master of the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture. If you dare touch me, the Wu family will not let you off. Wu Nanxuan took a deep breath and brought up the Grand Wu family behind him, hoping to threaten Zhou Donghuang so that he would not dare to touch him. If I were afraid of the Wu family, do you think I would have killed someone from the Wu family just now? Zhou Donghuang smiled brilliantly. Wu Nanxuan's expression changed when he heard this, and he looked at Li Kaiyun, who was staring blankly at Zhou Donghuang. It's all because of this B** tch that I'm in such a predicament. Wu Nanxuan's gaze turned cold, and he struck out with lightning speed, breaking Li Caiyun's neck with a loud crack. As Li Caiyun's body fell to the ground, Wu Nanxuan looked at Zhou Donghuang again, no longer as arrogant as before, and his expression was one of humility. Young Master Donghuang, this was all caused by this woman. I, Wu Nanxuan, have no intention of becoming enemies with you. Now, Wu Nanxuan only hoped that Li Caiyun's death could be exchanged for his safety. The situation was not in his favor. Although he had the Grand Wu family behind him, the Wu family was far away in Guangling Prefecture, and distant water could not put out a nearby fire. Now, he could only save himself. As long as he survived, when he returned to the Wu family, he could definitely bring a level 6 elder of the Qi gathering with him to make a comeback. It's too late. Seeing Wu Nanxuan kill his own woman so easily, a look of disgust flashed across Zhou Donghuang's eyes, and in a flash, he appeared directly in front of Wu Nanxuan and struck his chest with his palm. Zhou Donghuang's speed was too fast, and Wu Nanxuan did not react until the palm landed, and his expression changed. In the blink of an eye, Wu Nanxuan did not feel any pain, and he could not help but be stunned. He realized that Zhou Donghuang's palm did not contain much force, and it was more like a light touch on his chest. Meridian Destruction Palm. Just as Wu Nanxuan was feeling puzzled, Zhou Donghuang's palm that had landed on Wu Nanxuan's chest suddenly trembled, and a strange force swept out, directly shattering all the meridians in Wu Nanxuan's body. Meridian Destruction Palm, a lesser-grade technique, had no practical use against an enemy, but it could destroy the opponent's meridians with one strike when one had the upper hand. You destroyed my meridians? Wu Nanxuan realized immediately that the meridians in his body had been destroyed, and his expression changed dramatically. When he looked at Zhou Donghuang again, his eyes were bloodshot, and he collapsed to the ground in a fit of rage and fainted. On the planet of Ziyun, where the strong were revered, having one's meridians destroyed was worse than death for an adept. After Wu Nanxuan collapsed to the ground and fainted, the surroundings were deathly silent. Not only the crowd of onlookers, but even Lu Bao and the other members of the Lu family were now looking fearfully at the youth in white standing not far away. The youth's attack was fast, accurate, and ruthless, as if he did not care about the consequences. Young Master Donghuang's ability. Could it be that he has already attained level 6 of Qi gathering? But even so, he shouldn't be so unafraid of the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, right? The Wu family is a grand family with many level 6 adepts. Lu Bao frowned as he recalled what his elder brother Lu Qinghu had said to him, but then he seemed to recall something, and his frown eased. Unless he has enough ability to suppress the level 6 adepts of the Wu family. At this thought, Lu Bao could not help but recall the first time he had met Zhou Donghuang. It was in the Lu family household, and Zhou Donghuang had single-handedly defeated the 7 level 3 adepts of the 3 elite lesser families with his spear, like a god descending to the mortal world. At this thought, Lu Bao sucked in a breath of cold air, and when he looked at the youth in white again, there was only respect in his eyes. Granny Lien, find a woodshed in the Chamber of Commerce to settle them down. If they dare to run, kill them immediately. Zhou Donghuang said to Granny Lien as he glanced at the unconscious Wu Nanxuan and then at the 2 carriage drivers, who had long since turned pale with fear. Yes, young master. Now, Granny Lien obeyed Zhou Donghuang's orders and hurriedly responded. Although Lin Lan felt that it was inappropriate to imprison the members of the Grand Wu family, since it was her son Zhou Donghuang's request, she did not say anything. Now she had unconditional trust in her son, and even if her son poked a hole in the sky, she would not say anything, because she knew that her son knew what he was doing. Mother, I'm going out for a walk. I've been in the prefecture capital for so long, but I still haven't had a good look around the city. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Zhou Donghuang acted as if nothing had happened, and after saying goodbye to Lin Lan with a smile, he walked out. Although there were many onlookers, now that Zhou Donghuang was about to leave, they hurriedly parted to make a path for him. Only when Zhou Donghuang's figure disappeared at the end of the road did the crowd at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild come to their senses. On the 27th of March, 1228 of the Ziyun era, at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, Zhou Donghuang had killed Li Jingyu, chief of the preeminent Li family, and then killed 2 level 5 adepts of the Wu family governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, as well as crippling the meridians of the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan. Chapter 63. The governor's household, the Zhao family household. Big brother, that Zhou Donghuang killed 2 level 5 adepts from the Wu family of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan, also had his meridians destroyed and is now a martial invalid. When Zhao San had received the news from the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, he had immediately gone to look for his big brother, the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture and chief of the Zhao family, Zhao Lisang. I never thought that even Wu Yunfeng and Wu Hailang would die at Zhou Donghuang's hands. Both of them were no weaker than me, Zhao Lisang said gravely. Zhao Lishang's expression was solemn. He then looked at Zhao San and asked, how long did he take to kill Wu Yunfeng and his companion? Whether it was Wu Yunfeng or Wu Hailang, Zhao Lisang had interacted with them before and knew how powerful they were. Both of them were no weaker than he was. One move. Zhao San smiled bitterly. Hearing this, Zhao Lisang was instantly dumbfounded. After a long while, he came back to his senses and said with a bitter smile, I originally thought that his strength was at most equal to mine. Now it seems that I was overthinking it. Even if he wanted to kill me, it would only take one move. Big brother, I don't understand. Not only did he kill the 2 adepts from the Wu family, but he also crippled the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan. Is he not afraid of the Wu family seeking revenge? Zhao San was puzzled. You've known him longer than I have. Do you think he would do something he is not confident of? Zhao Lisang asked. Zhao San hesitated for a moment. He thought about it and shook his head. No. Although he had not spent much time with the youth, the confidence that the youth exuded made him feel that he would be fearless even if the sky collapsed. Then, there is only one possibility. He does not take the Wu family seriously. Zhao Lisang sighed with a complicated expression. He does not take the Wu family seriously? Zhao San was shocked. The Wu family was a grand family with many level 6 adepts. That Zhou Donghuang, If he did not even care about the Wu family, then how powerful was he? The Hong family household. That Zhou Donghuang is so daring? When the second master of the preeminent Hong family, Hong Kuan, received the news from outside, he was also stunned for a moment before he recovered. Zhou Donghuang's strength was beyond his imagination, and he was deeply surprised. However, he felt that Zhou Donghuang was even more daring. He had actually dared to kill a member of the Guangling governor's household, the Wu family, and even crippled the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan. I didn't expect him to have such strength. Based on the power he has displayed today, even the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisang, is no match for him. However, even though he's strong, he's brainless. He even dared to cripple the first young master of the Grand Wu family, Wu Nanxuan. He's simply courting death. Wu Nanxuan was the next governor of the Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family. It was because of this that outsiders called him the junior governor. But now, his meridians had been destroyed in Yunfeng Prefecture, and he was now a martial invalid. Zhou Donghuang had crippled the next governor of the Guangling Prefecture. One could imagine how furious the Wu family of the Guangling Prefecture would be when they heard the news. Looks like there's no need for Yunfei and Dandan to get the disciples of the Valley of the Medicine Masters to help. That kid is dead meat. Hong Kuan's eyes flashed as he muttered to himself. Some time ago, his elder brother, the chief of the Hong family, Hong Wei, had left the Hong family with Qin Dandan and left Yunfeng Prefecture for the Valley of the Medicine Masters. He had heard about Qin Dandan's background and the conflict between Qin Dandan and Zhou Donghuang. The Li family household. Today, chief, first mistress, and young master will take revenge together. With the two level 5 adepts by young master's side, Zhou Donghuang of the Magnolia Guild will definitely die. When the Li family chief, Li Jingyu, and the others had just left, everyone in the Li family felt the same way. After all, the man by first mistress Li's side was the junior governor of the intermediate prefecture of Guangling Prefecture. Furthermore, the junior governor had two level 5 adepts who were no weaker than the governor of Yunfeng Prefecture, Zhao Lisang. However, the news that the Li family had received after waiting for a long time made them completely dumbfounded. The chief is dead? Killed by Zhou Donghuang with one blow? First mistress is also dead? And first mistress was killed by young master himself? The two level 5 adepts by young master's side were also killed by Zhou Donghuang with one blow? Even young master's meridians were destroyed by Zhou Donghuang? The Li family could never have imagined that their chief would not only fail to avenge the death of their second young master, Li Pingyun, but even die at Zhou Donghuang's hands. This was the source of their confidence. The two level 5 adepts of the Wu family, the governor of Guangling Prefecture, had also been killed by Zhou Donghuang. After Zhou Donghuang killed the chief, will he vent his anger on the Li family? If he were to vent his anger on our Li family, who in our family could be his match? Who will be able to stop him? Just as the group of Li family juniors were feeling insecure, Li Yun and Li Rui rushed back to the Li family household. That morning, when they found out that the chief of the Li family, Li Jingyu, had brought men to the Magnolia Guild to cause trouble, they had escaped through the back door of the guild. To prevent anyone from discovering that they had been to the Magnolia Guild, they had purposely taken a detour outside the prefecture capital and re-entered the prefecture capital from the other side before returning to the Li family household. However, when they returned to the Li family household, they were dumbfounded by the Li family's alarmist words. The high and mighty chief in their eyes had been killed by Zhou Donghuang with one blow? Furthermore, the Li family's backer, the junior governor of Guangling Prefecture, the first young master of the Grand Wu family, Wu Nanxuan, had not only killed first mistress of the Li family with his own hands, but had also had his meridians destroyed by Zhou Donghuang? The two level 5 adepts of the Wu family, the governor of Guangling Prefecture, had also been killed by Zhou Donghuang? Donghuang is so strong? Li Yun was stunned into a daze. Li Rue was also shocked into a daze. After a while, she recovered and smiled coldly, taking pleasure in Zhou Donghuang's misfortune. That Zhou Donghuang has offended the governor of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, he's dead meat. The Wu family will never let him off. If I had known that he was so stupid as to dare offend the Grand Wu family, why would I, Li Rue, lower myself to him today? As she spoke, Li Rue's smile became even colder. In the large household of the preeminent Lu family, news of what had just happened at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild was spreading everywhere. The noise even startled Lu Qinghu, who was concentrating on his cultivation in his room. Lu Qinghu could not help but go out and ask. But very quickly, he turned back to his room. Young Master Dong Huang killed 2 level 5 adepts of the governor of Guangling Prefecture, the Wu family, with 1 blow? And maimed the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan? Shaking his head, Lu Qinghu did not think much of it and continued practicing. In his opinion, since young Master Dong Huang dared to do this, he must be confident and not afraid of the Grand Wu family coming after him. The bottle of liquid that young Master Dong Huang asked Fu to deliver 2 days ago, what kind of liquid was it? It's only been 2 days, and the potency of the liquid has only been reduced by half, and I can almost try to break through to level 5 of qi gathering. At first, Lu Qinghu had not thought much of the bottle of liquid that Fu had delivered 2 days ago. But after consuming the liquid and starting to practice, he realized that his level of practice had improved rapidly. In the short span of 2 days, he had improved as much as he had in the past 10 years of hard work. It feels like, if I use up the remaining potency of the liquid, I can even directly attain level 5 of qi gathering. At this thought, Lu Qinghu tried hard to suppress his excitement and once again immersed himself in practice, ignoring the commotion outside. Besides the 4 preeminent families of Yunfeng Prefecture capital, the 2 lesser families, the Fang and Ma families, were also shocked by Zhou Donghuang's actions that day. They had never imagined that Zhou Donghuang would even dare to offend the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture and the Grand Wu family. Just as everyone in the prefecture capital was shocked by Zhou Donghuang's actions that day, Zhou Donghuang was leisurely strolling along the streets of the prefecture capital, weaving through the traffic. Unknowingly, it's been more than 3 months since I was reborn. Zhou Donghuang shook his head and sighed as he walked. In my previous life, at this time on Earth, the seal in my body had just been released, and I had not even attained level 1 of qi gathering. In more than 3 months, I have already attained level 5 of qi gathering. In my previous life, it took me almost 20 years to attain level 5 of qi gathering. On Earth during the Age of Doom, the spirit was thin, and Zhou Donghuang had spent a whole 50 years practicing from nothing to great consummation of qi gathering. This was because he had traveled all over Earth and discovered some ancient ruins. After searching through them, he had had a fortuitous encounter. In 60 years, he had successfully attained the Khanate stage. Then, in the next few decades, with the help of Earth's technology, he had gone to planets near Earth with more abundant spirit to practice, and only after successfully attaining the primal core stage did he officially leave Earth. In order to travel through space physically, one had to be at least at the primal core stage. Otherwise, one would not be able to withstand the pressure of the magnetic field in space. In this life, I will strive to attain the primal core stage within 10 years. Zhou Donghuang murmured to himself. If word of Zhou Donghuang's words were to spread, not just to Ziyun, but to the entire universe, it would be enough to scare a bunch of people. After strolling for a while, Zhou Donghuang turned to leave. In 2 days, I will head to the Chu Royal City. Guangling Prefecture is on the way from Yunfeng Prefecture to the Royal City, so I will follow Wu Nanxuan to the Wu family. Chapter 64. P.S. Zhou Donghuang's goal is to attain the primal core stage within 5 years and reach the stage where he can traverse the stars with his body alone. Just as he returned to the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, Zhou Donghuang saw 3 large horses standing in front of the steps, hesitating. Surprisingly, a little girl was sitting on the leader's horse. Judging from her figure, she was at most 8 or 9 years old. Just by looking at her jade-like face, one would involuntarily feel a sense of tenderness towards her. On the backs of the 2 horses behind sat 2 youths, who looked to be about 12 or 13 years old. One had long hair tied up behind his back, and the other had short hair. "Big sister, are you sure you didn't read wrong? It says Magnolia Guild, that Master Freezing Wind mentioned before he left?" the short-haired youth asked the little girl. From his words, it was clear that he did not know how to read. A 12 or 13-year-old boy calling an 8 or 9-year-old girl big sister sounded a little strange, no matter how one listened to it. However, the short-haired boy did not show any reluctance. "Just because you don't know how to read doesn't mean I don't know." The little girl put her hands on her hips and glared at the short-haired youth before dismounting quickly. "Let's go. Let's go in and find our benefactor and Uncle Freezing Wind." "Yes, big sister." The 2 youths obediently answered and flew down from their horses. Although they were quite skilled, with the little girl in front of them, their performance was slightly inferior. By this time, Zhou Donghuang had already guessed the identities of the 3. They were the 3 orphans that Freezing Wind had selected under his orders to search for and select from the outside orphans with good potential. The 3 who had just dismounted saw Zhou Donghuang approaching and watched him walk up the steps of the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild. "Benefactor." Zhou Donghuang had just climbed the steps and was about to enter when he heard the young, moving, and excited voice of the girl behind him, accompanied by the sound of someone kneeling on the ground. "Benefactor?" Seeing the girl kneeling behind Zhou Donghuang, the 2 youths looked at each other and quickly knelt behind the girl. "Why do you call me benefactor?" When he heard the girl's voice, Zhou Donghuang knew that she had recognized him. As he turned around, he could not help but smile. What a clever girl! Zhou Donghuang looked at the delicate little girl before him and sighed inwardly. It was hard to imagine how a girl like her could withstand the torture of the godly needle of tendon changing and marrow cleansing. "Benefactor," Uncle Cold Wind said, "if you didn't ask him to come out and find us, we wouldn't be here today. So, you are our benefactor." In front of Zhou Donghuang, the girl was no longer as casual as she had been with the 2 youths. Her expression was stern, like a little adult. "How did you recognize me?" Zhou Donghuang smiled lightly. "Ever since I heard Uncle Freezing Wind mention you, my benefactor, I've been yearning for you. Uncle Freezing Wind couldn't stand my pestering, so he drew a portrait of you for me. Although it's not as good-looking as you in person, the posture with your hands behind your back is exactly the same." As the girl spoke, she took out a folded piece of paper from her pocket. She gently and carefully unfolded it, and the portrait of a young man appeared. It was Zhou Donghuang. However, the outline of Zhou Donghuang's face in the portrait was slightly blurred, so it was not as good-looking as the real person, but the posture with his hands behind his back was exactly the same as the real person. "I didn't expect Freezing Wind to have such a trick up his sleeve." Zhou Donghuang raised his eyebrows and said to the 3 of them, "Get up and follow me in." "Yes, benefactor." The 3 of them stood up and followed Zhou Donghuang into the Magnolia Guild. "What's your name?" Zhou Donghuang asked with a smile as he walked side by side with the little girl. He looked at her lovingly and reached out to pat her head. "Benefactor, I'm Yun Lu." As the little girl introduced herself, she did not forget to introduce the 2 youths behind her. As for them, the one with short hair is called Zhouhan. The one with long hair is called Zhoufeng. "Zhouhan? Zhoufeng?" Zhou Donghuang was stunned. "Benefactor, they did not have official names. It was Senior Freezing Wind who gave them your surname, and their names were taken from Uncle Freezing Wind's," Yun Lu said. "No wonder it sounds so familiar." Zhou Donghuang nodded and brought the 3 of them to see Granny Lian so that she could arrange accommodation for them. The three of them had been carefully chosen by freezing wind from a group of orphans. Not only had they endured the torture of tendon-changing and marrow-cleansing divine needle, they had also passed freezing wind's test of loyalty. There would not be any problems with their loyalty. Moreover, not every orphan was like Chen Dandan. Most orphans would be grateful to someone who had helped them change their fate, and would follow them for life, never betraying them. After handing the three of them over to Granny Lien, Zhou Dongwang returned to his room to practice. He would leave Yunfeng Prefecture for the Chu royal city when Fu came out of seclusion. Fu would need at least 2 to 3 days to completely absorb the medicine made from the 1,000-year red fruit. In the next few days, what surprised Zhou Dongwang was that his mother actually liked Yun Lu very much, and even came to him to say that she wanted to adopt Yun Lu as her daughter. Zhou Dongwang knew that his mother had always wanted a daughter. Originally, she had Chen Dandan, but after Chen Dandan's betrayal, the place in his mother's heart had become empty. Xiao Lu, you don't have to call me benefactor anymore, just call me big brother. Since Lin Lan wanted to adopt Yun Lu as her daughter, Zhou Dongwang was naturally happy to oblige. Moreover, after a few days together, he had grown to like Yun Lu very much. Although she was only 9 years old, Yun Lu was very sensible. Even the details of her daily life showed that she had a kind heart, which Chen Dandan had never shown. Big brother. No matter how strong Yun Lu was usually, she was still a little girl, and after a few days together, she had fallen in love with this warm family. Hearing Zhou Donghuang's words, she could not help but cry. Why are you crying? Silly girl. Zhou Dongwang reached out to wipe the tears from Yun Lu's eyes, then patted her head and smiled dotingly. Xiao Lu, mother will take you shopping and buy you some nice clothes. Lin Lan had arrived, and seeing that Zhou Dongwang was there, she smiled and asked, Dongwang, do you want to go shopping with us? Mother, you guys go ahead. Zhou Dongwang smiled. I still have some things to tell Freezing Wind. He planned to leave Yunfeng Prefecture the next day and head to the Chu royal city. Of course, he had not told Lin Lan about this yet. Goodbye, big brother. Yun Lu bade Zhou Dongwang farewell before leaving with Lin Lan. After the two of them left, Zhou Dongwang asked Fu to call Freezing Wind over. Young master, Xiao Lu has already accepted my mother as her adoptive mother, so let her stay by my mother's side from now on. When you go out on errands, just bring Zhou Han and Zhou Feng along. Zhou Dongwang said. He had asked Freezing Wind to find orphans and select the best of them, so that Freezing Wind could lead them to create a force of his own. Creating such a force was not to help him, but to better protect his family, so that he could move forward without any worries. Yes, young master, Freezing Wind replied respectfully. Freezing Wind replied respectfully. After the incident with the 1,000-year red fruit, he respected the youth in front of him as if he was a god. To use 1,000-year-old fruit as 10,000-year-old fruits, not just in the country of Yunyang, but even in the entire planet of Ziyun, there was probably no one who could do this. Now, after taking the elixir of the 1,000-year-old fruit, Freezing Wind had successfully attained level 4 of Qi Gathering, becoming a level 4 adept with the strength of 4 bulls. In the past, Freezing Wind would never have dreamed that he could achieve this in such a short period of time. If I were still in Green Wolf Bastion, I would have just attained level 2 of Qi Gathering. Freezing Wind thought to himself. Take these 2 bottles of elixir, see for yourself. If you can confirm that Zhou Han and Zhou Feng have potential, give them to them. With a wave of his hand, Zhou Dongwang tossed 2 bottles of liquid medicine made from the 1,000-year-old cinnabar fruit to Freezing Wind. Now, Zhou Dongwang only had 2 bottles of elixir left. He planned to give one of them to Yun Lu before he left the next day. Early morning, April 1st, 1228 of the Ziyun era. Lin Lan and Yun Lu stood side by side at the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, looking longingly at the carriage drawn by the 3 Fergana horses disappearing at the end of the road. This child, he left this morning and only told me last night. Lin Lan shook her head and sighed bitterly. Children really can't be kept at home. Mother, Big Brother was afraid that if you knew too early, you would miss him even more. Yun Lu comforted her softly. Mother, Big Brother is leaving, but Xiao Lu will be with you. Don't be too sad. Silly girl, Mother is not sad, your brother is doing well, and Mother is happy for him. Lin Lan smiled and patted Yun Lu's little head. Although she said that, her eyes could not hide the reluctance in her eyes. On the other side, in the carriage, Wu Nanxuan looked at Zhou Donghuang in disbelief. You really want to send me back to the Wu family? Otherwise, why would I spare your life? Zhou Donghuang glanced at Wu Nanxuan. For the rest of the journey, you'd better not disturb my practice. If you annoy me, I don't mind keeping you on the road forever. Hearing Zhou Donghuang's words, Wu Nanxuan hurriedly shut up, but in his heart, he was thinking about how to torture Zhou Donghuang when they reach the Wu family. My meridians have been destroyed by him, and I've become a martial invalid. My life is completely ruined. When I get back to the Wu family, I can only tear him to pieces with my own hands to appease the hatred in my heart. As Zhou Donghuang closed his eyes to practice, Wu Nanxuan stared at Zhou Donghuang with a pair of eyes filled with hatred. The anger in his heart was boiling, and he could not control it. This time, Fu did not act as Zhou Donghuang's carriage driver. He sat beside Zhou Donghuang, leaning against the door of the carriage to practice. Chapter 65. In the western ridge of the Chu King, the Chu royal city was the center, surrounded by commanderies of all sizes, like stars surrounding the moon, surrounding the Chu royal city. The counties closest to the Chu royal city were the superior-level counties, followed by the intermediate-level counties, and the inferior-level counties were the furthest from the Chu royal city. Within the western ridge of the Chu King, there were the most inferior-level counties, numbering 26. Then came the intermediate-level counties, numbering 12, and the superior-level counties, numbering only 5. Yunfeng County, as an inferior-level county, was located at the edge of the western ridge of the Chu King. From Yunfeng County to the Chu royal city, one had to pass through an intermediate-level county and a superior-level county. The intermediate-level county was Guangling County. Guangling County, as an intermediate-level county, occupied a much larger area than Yunfeng County. From the edge of Guangling County to the capital of Guangling County, even if one rode a Fergana horse day and night, it would still take 7 days and 7 nights. From the capital of Yunfeng Prefecture to the point of leaving Yunfeng Prefecture, it would only take 3 days and 3 nights on Fergana horses to travel day and night. Because of this, from the capital of Yunfeng County to the capital of Guangling County, even if one rode a Fergana horse day and night, it would still take 10 days and 10 nights. However, although the Fergana horse was the king of horses, there were times when it was exhausted, and it was impossible for it not to rest. Therefore, even if one rode a Fergana horse, including rest, it would still take at least half a month to reach the capital of Guangling County from the capital of Yunfeng County. With a Fergana horse pulling the carriage, it would take about 1.5 months. If 1 or 2 Fergana horses pulled the carriage, it would be faster to reach the destination. "Young master, we have reached the capital." A voice came from outside the carriage, causing Wu Nanxuan's eyes to light up, and he could not hide the excitement on his face. The carriage pulled by 3 Fergana horses took a whole month to reach the capital of Guangling County from the capital of Yunfeng County. "We're here." As the voice came in, Zhou Donghuang awoke from his practice. He opened the curtains of the carriage and saw that the streets were even more bustling than in the capital of Yunfeng County. No wonder it's the capital of the intermediate prefecture, Guangling Prefecture. The capital of the inferior prefecture, Yunfeng Prefecture, cannot be compared to it. Zhou Donghuang thought to himself. He felt like he had stayed in a county town on Earth for too long. I had thought that I would need 3 months to attain level 6 of Qi gathering. I did not expect that the Lord of the Four Supremes to give me such a pleasant surprise as I practice without any distractions along the way. Zhou Donghuang was very satisfied with his progress since leaving the capital of Yunfeng Prefecture. If all goes well, I will be able to attain level 6 of Qi gathering in about a month. The original plan of 3 months had been shortened by almost a third. All of this was a pleasant surprise that the Lord of the Four Supremes had brought him. The longer he focused on practicing, the faster his rate of practice was, and the greater his level of practice was. In the past, Zhou Donghuang's practice in Qinshan Town and the capital of Yunfeng Prefecture had been interrupted every 2 or 3 days, and he had been unable to truly focus. Along the way, because the carriage they were in had the insignia of the governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, no bandits dared to approach them. Occasionally, they would encounter wild beasts, but they would be chased away by the 2 collateral disciples of the Wu family who were acting as coachmen. Therefore, he had been practicing without any distractions on the way, and he had progressed rapidly. The governor's household of Guangling Prefecture was not only a grand family, but also the top family of Guangling Prefecture. As the saying went, when the tiger is away, the monkey is king. The governor's household of Guangling Prefecture, which was also the residence of the Wu family, had been renovated like a small palace. It was extremely luxurious, and one would feel as if they were in the depths of a palace. In the resplendent living room of the Wu family household, Zhou Donghuang sat at the head of the table, casually picking up a cup of tea from the table beside him and sipping it slowly. Fu stood behind Zhou Donghuang, holding a black and red 7-foot spear in his hand. This was the black iron spear that Zhou Donghuang had bought in the Hall of Gods in the capital of Yunfeng Prefecture. Below, the first young master of the Wu family, Wu Nanxuan, and the 2 collateral disciples of the Wu family who were acting as coachmen stood there, not even daring to breathe. Because of Wu Nanxuan, the group had been able to enter the Wu family household unimpeded and enter the living room. Now, you must be eager to call your father, the governor of Guangling Prefecture, over and have him avenge you, right? Zhou Donghuang put down his teacup and looked deeply at Wu Nanxuan. Wu Nanxuan's throat moved, but he did not speak in the end. Go, Zhou Donghuang said calmly. Zhou Donghuang said calmly, go and call your father here. Ask him to bring all the level 6 adepts of the Wu family along with him. Just him alone is not a challenge at all. As he spoke, Zhou Donghuang shook his head and grinned, revealing 2 rows of pearly white teeth. The confidence in his smile seemed to affect everyone present. Originally, Wu Nanxuan had already found it unbelievable that Zhou Donghuang would be so bold as to follow him back to the Wu family, and he had even thought that Zhou Donghuang was courting death. But now, seeing Zhou Donghuang so confident, his heart could not help but skip a beat. This Zhou Donghuang, could it be that he is confident that he can suppress the Wu family? However, just as this thought surfaced in his mind, Wu Nanxuan, who was filled with hatred, forcefully suppressed it. No, impossible. I'll go find my father now and get him to capture him. I want to tear him to pieces with my own hands. At this moment, Wu Nanxuan's rationality was completely destroyed by the flames of hatred. As Wu Nanxuan left the living room, the 2 collateral disciples of the Wu family hurriedly followed, heaving a sigh of relief. The pressure that the youth gave them was just as great. After leaving the living room, Wu Nanxuan went directly to find his father, the governor of the Guangling Prefecture, the patriarch of the Wu family, Wu Wentao. Sooner you're back? Wu Wentao was a middle-aged man dressed in a loose green robe. He had a medium build, a dignified face, and a mustache. Half of his hair had already turned white, but his eyes were bright and full of expression, and they flickered with a sharp gaze. However, when he saw Wu Nanxuan, his piercing gaze immediately softened. Wu Nanxuan was Wu Wentao's only son. Because of this, not only did he dote on this son, but he also had high hopes for him. He even planned to pass on the position of governor of Guangling Prefecture to this son of his in the future. Father! Seeing Wu Wentao, Wu Nanxuan's eyes brightened. His tightened face instantly collapsed. He rushed up to Wu Wentao in 2 or 3 steps, kneeled down with a thud, and hugged Wu Wentao's thigh while crying. Sooner, what's wrong? Wu Wentao's expression changed. He knew his son the best, and unless something big had happened, he would not have lost his composure like this. Father, my meridians have been destroyed, and I will no longer be able to fulfill your expectations and take over the governor's household in the future. Wu Nanxuan's expression was pained, and his voice trembled as he spoke. What? Wu Wentao's expression changed, and he immediately knelt down. After confirming that his son's meridians had really been destroyed, his eyes narrowed, and his expression turned icy. In that instant, the temperature in the courtyard that Wu Wentao lived in seemed to drop by a few degrees. Sooner, what is going on? How could your meridians be destroyed? After all, he was the governor of Guangling Prefecture, the patriarch of the Grand Wu family, and Wu Wentao quickly suppressed his rage and asked in a low voice. Father, it's Zhou Dongwang from Yunfeng Prefecture. Faced with Wu Wentao's questions, Wu Nanxuan wept bitterly as he recounted everything that had happened. As he spoke, Wu Wentao's expression became even more serious. A 17-year-old youth had killed 2 level 5 adepts of the Wu family, destroyed his son, and still dared to come knocking on his door? Sooner, did he really just say that I should gather all the level 6 adepts of the Wu family to go with him? Wu Wentao was different from Wu Nanxuan. The latter's rationality had been destroyed by rage, but although Wu Wentao was angry, he still had a shred of rationality left. Zhou Dongwang, for him to dare say such a thing, either he was stupid and seeking death, or he really did not fear the Wu family. Based on what his son had told him, Zhou Dongwang could not be the former. Father, he must be bluffing, Wu Nanxuan said angrily. But since he wants to see the level 6 adepts of the Wu family, let's show him. I just hope that he doesn't wet his pants. Sooner, calm down, we will definitely test Zhou Dongwang. But before we confirm that he is bluffing, the Wu family must not offend him further. Wu Wentao was much calmer than Wu Nanxuan. In a moment, Wu Wentao sent someone to gather all the level 6 adepts in the Wu family household. Including himself, there were 4 level 6 adepts gathered together. There were 5 level 6 adepts in the Wu family, and one of them had left recently, so there were only 4 of them in the Wu family household. However, the one who was absent was the weakest of the 5 level 6 adepts, and his absence did not affect the overall situation. Uncle Fan, second brother, head elder. When the 3 level 6 adepts of the Wu family arrived, Wu Wentao went straight to the point and told them everything that had happened. The 3 of them, without exception, were all frightened. A 17-year-old youth killed Wu Yunfeng and Wu Hailang with a single blow? Wu Yunfeng and Wu Hailang were considered strong among the level 5 adepts of the Wu family, and it was precisely because of this that they had been sent to protect Wu Nanxuan, the first young master of the Wu family. Now, hearing that the 2 of them had been killed by a 17-year-old youth, the 3 level 6 adepts present gasped in unison. Big brother, let's go over. I would like to see that 17-year-old genius for myself. Chapter 66. The Wu family household. In the drawing room, Zhou Dongwang sat at the head of the table, looking calmly at the 5 people who had just entered the hall. If I remember correctly, your Wu family seems to have 5 level 6 adepts of Qi gathering? Why are there only 4 of them? Unless, do you think that the 4 of you are enough to defeat me, Zhou Dongwang? As he said this, Zhou Dongwang's lips curled in a mocking smile. Now, of the 5 people who had entered the drawing room, one was Wu Nanxuan, and the other 4 were unfamiliar faces to Zhou Dongwang. 2 of them looked very similar to Wu Nanxuan. Sir, I am the governor of Guangling Prefecture, chief of the Wu family, Wu Wentao. Wu Wentao stepped forward and saluted Zhou Dongwang. As he introduced himself, he looked at Zhou Dongwang with a serious expression. Before he had seen this youth, he had not thought much of it. Now that he had seen this youth with his own eyes, he knew what confidence was. It was as if even the sky falling would not be enough to make this youth change his expression. Those who had such confidence were either truly powerful, or they were deliberately mystifying things. However, Wu Wentao had seen countless people in his life, and he did not think that the youth before him was the former, but the latter. Second Master of the Wu family, Wu Jingtao, Level 6 Adept of Qi Gathering. After Wu Wentao's self-introduction, the second Master of the Wu family also stepped forward, his gaunt figure as straight as a spear, but his gaze on Zhou Donghuang was frighteningly cold, as if he was about to devour him. Minister of the Wu family, Lu Yifan, Level 6 Adept of Qi Gathering. After the second Master of the Wu family, Wu Jingtao, an old man in a green robe stepped forward. The old man was tall and strong as an ox, with a tiger's back and a bear's waist. Although he looked old and his hair was white, his body was more like a young man's. As Lu Yifan stepped forward, Wu Nanxuan glared at Zhou Donghuang with hatred in his eyes and laughed coldly. Zhou Donghuang, my grandfather Lu is the strongest in Guangling Prefecture, and he practices the third-grade defensive technique, Cold Iron Raiment. His defense is so strong that no one in Guangling Prefecture can break it. Third-grade technique? Hearing Wu Nanxuan's words, Zhou Donghuang looked at the old man in surprise. As far as he knew, in the country of Yunyang, besides the imperial court of Yunyang and the various royal families, there were only 2 tycoon families who possessed third-grade technique. The 2 tycoon families had both contributed greatly to the imperial court of Yunyang country, so they had each been bestowed with a third-grade martial arts technique. As far as I know, the third-grade defensive technique Cold Iron Jacket was bestowed upon the tycoon Lu family by the imperial court of Yunyang country. Are you from the Lu family of Tianwu Prefecture? Zhou Donghuang asked lightly. Not bad. The old man raised his head proudly, as if he was proud to be a member of the tycoon Lu family. However, Zhou Donghuang's next words caused the arrogance on his face to freeze. Not wanting to stay in the tycoon Lu family, you've lowered yourself to this small grand family. In my opinion, you can't survive in the Lu family? When Zhou Donghuang's words fell into the old man's ears, it was as if he had struck a nail in the old man's heart. The tycoon families were superior to the grand families. For a family to become a tycoon family, it needed at least a level 8 adept to hold the fort. And the Lu family, besides being the governor of the superior prefecture of Tianwu Prefecture, was also an elite tycoon family with many level 9 adepts. In the Lu family, a level 6 adept who could not advance any further would not be relegated to being a guard or an errand boy, but he would not have much status either. Lu Yifan was such a person. This rascal. Just as Lu Yifan's face darkened and a murderous glint flashed in his eyes, another old man standing at the side stepped forward and introduced himself. Head Elder of the Wu family, Wu Chong, Level 6 Adept of Qi Gathering. There's another one, call him over. Zhou Donghuang said lightly. Humph. Lu Yifan snorted coldly. What an arrogant rascal! The 4 of us are enough to deal with you. Sir, if you can escape unscathed from the 4 of us today, the grudge between you and the Wu family will be written off. Wu Wentao said in a low voice as he stared at Zhou Donghuang. If the youth in front of him could escape unscathed from the 4 level 6 adepts of the Wu family today, he would be someone the Wu family could not afford to offend. Even if his only son's veins were destroyed, he could only grit his teeth and swallow the pain. Escape unscathed? Zhou Donghuang laughed condescendingly. You think too highly of the 4 of you. As he spoke, Zhou Donghuang raised his hand and took the heavy black iron spear from Fu's hands. He weighed the spear in his hands as he looked calmly at Wu Wentao and the others. The 4 of you, come at me together. Zhou Donghuang was still sitting in the armchair at the head of the table, crossing his legs as he spoke. You're just going to sit there and fight with us? Hearing Zhou Donghuang's words and seeing that Zhou Donghuang had no intention of leaving his seat, Wu Jingtao's expression darkened as he asked coldly, "Wasn't this 16 or 17-year-old kid a little too arrogant? Did he really think they were pushovers? The four of you are not worthy of me standing up." Zhou Donghuang glanced at Wu Jingtao casually, and the contempt in his eyes made Wu Jingtao's face flush red with anger. With a shake of his body, he was the first to fly forward, drawing the 3-foot narrow sword from the scabbard at his waist. 1. The 3-foot narrow sword that looked no different from a sword cut through the air, glinting coldly. It seemed to come to life in Wu Jingtao's hand, and as it flew, it seemed to transform into a snake as it flew towards Zhou Donghuang's brow. Wu Jingtao used not only the lesser-grade swiftness technique of the Wu family, but also the lesser-grade sword technique of the Wu family. Whoosh! Zhou Donghuang shook the spear in his hand, and the heavy black iron spear, which weighed more than 1,000 kilograms, seemed to transform into a bolt of black lightning. When Wu Jingtao's sword was 4 feet away from his brow, the spear struck it. Clang! Accompanied by the ear-piercing sound of metal clashing, Wu Jingtao's screams rang out. As he let go of the narrow sword, the web between his thumb and forefinger had already split open, and blood flowed freely. Swoosh! The narrow sword that flew out was embedded in a pillar on the side of the living room. The blade was completely embedded in the pillar, and the force of the impact was evident. And this was the result of Zhou Donghuang's casual swing of the spear. "Come at me together." Zhou Donghuang glanced lightly at Wu Wentao, Lu Yifan, and Wu Chong. His tone was as calm as before, and his expression was as calm as before. Wu Wentao and the other two saw that Zhou Donghuang had injured Wu Jingtao with one move, and had even knocked the sword out of Wu Jingtao's hand, and their expressions became extremely serious. Now, hearing Zhou Donghuang's words, they looked at each other and attacked together. Swoosh! 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 3 figures whizzed out, heading straight for Zhou Donghuang. At the same time, Wu Jingtao also ran to the side of the pillar and used his uninjured left hand to pull the sword out of the pillar, preparing to join in the attack. Bang! 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 However, just as Wu Jingtao pulled the sword out and prepared to join forces with Wu Wentao and the other two, he had just turned around when he heard 3 consecutive loud sounds, accompanied by 2 cries of pain and a deep groan. As he turned around, the scene before him made Wu Jingtao's legs feel like they were filled with lead, and he could not move an inch. Swoosh! Swoosh! Wu Wentao and Wu Chong's bodies were sent flying by Zhou Donghuang's spear, and like arrows released from a bow, they shot into the wall on the side of the living room. With 2 loud bangs, the wall that their bodies touched cracked open, and the cracks were eye-catching like a spiderweb. Their bodies scraped against the wall and crashed to the ground, blood spurting from their mouth. Their breathing was weak, and it was obvious that they had lost the ability to fight. Now, even Lu Yifan, who was known as the strongest in Guangling Prefecture, was forced back more than 10 steps by Zhou Donghuang's spear. His eyes were wide open, his face red, and a trickle of blood seeped from the corner of his mouth. No wonder it's a 3rd-grade defensive technique, cold iron jacket. You were only lightly injured after taking a casual strike from my spear. Zhou Donghuang left his seat and stood up, striding towards Lu Yifan. As he walked, he reminded him, "You probably did not use all your strength to defend just now. Now I'll give you a chance to defend with all your strength. Let's see if your cold iron jacket can take another strike from my spear." As he spoke, Zhou Donghuang grinned, his 2 rows of snow-white teeth gleaming. Seeing Zhou Donghuang raise his hand again and sweep his spear towards him, Lu Yifan, who knew that he could not avoid it, suddenly turned serious. He activated all the qi in his body and used the 3rd-grade defensive technique of the Lu family, Cold Iron Jacket. After using the Cold Iron Jacket to its fullest, Lu Yifan looked at Zhou Donghuang again, his eyes shining, as if he had suddenly become extremely confident. Wave stacking force. Zhou Donghuang's eyes flashed, and the qi in his hands surged out layer by layer. Together with the black iron spear, he fell from the sky like a meteorite, smashing heavily into Lu Yifan's strong chest. For those who used the cold iron cloak, the strongest defense was the chest. Bang! As the black iron spear fell, Lu Yifan's body shook violently, and he took a step back. Seeing this, Wu Wentao and the rest's eyes lit up, thinking that Lu Yifan had blocked Zhou Donghuang's spear. However, in the next moment their gazes froze. Whoosh! In the instant that Lu Yifan's body took a step back, his body flew forward as if defying gravity. The speed at which he flew was several times faster than Wu Wentao and Wu Chong. Boom! Chapter 67. The vermilion fruit was a rare treasure that could increase the level of practice of adept. It was extremely rare and could only be found by chance. The vermilion fruit was divided into 100-year vermilion fruit, 1,000-year vermilion fruit, and 10,000-year vermilion fruit. For anyone below level 3 of Qi gathering, 100-year vermilion fruit could increase their level of practice by 1 level in a few days. Even an ordinary person who did not practice could attain level 1 of Qi gathering in a few days after consuming 100-year vermilion fruit. For anyone below level 6 of Qi gathering, 1,000-year vermilion fruit could increase their level of practice by at least 1 level in a few days, and those with lower levels could even increase their level of practice by more than 2 levels. For anyone below level 9 of Qi gathering, a 10,000-year vermilion fruit could increase their level of practice by at least 1 level in a few days, and those with lower levels could even increase their level of practice by more than 4 levels. In the history of the country of Yunyang, a 10,000-year vermilion fruit had never appeared, and 1,000-year vermilion fruits had only appeared a few times. But the 100-year vermilion fruit was more common, and every time it appeared, it would cause a fight for it, even causing a bloodbath. It really is a 1,000-year vermilion fruit. Zhou Donghuang opened the brocade box that Freezing Wind had passed to him and saw a vermilion fruit, about the size of a baby's fist, giving off a refreshing aroma. In his previous life, when he had stood at the pinnacle of the universe, even a 10,000-year vermilion fruit would have been no different from an ordinary apple on earth to him, much less a 1,000-year vermilion fruit. But now, this 1,000-year vermilion fruit caused a slight ripple in his originally calm heart. You must have attained level 3 of Qi gathering by now? Zhou Donghuang asked Freezing Wind. Freezing Wind nodded. Thanks to the 1,000-star sword technique and the Qi gathering elixir that young master taught me, I attained level 3 of Qi gathering 6 days ago. Since you recognize this 1,000-year vermilion fruit, it means that you know what it can do. If you consume it, your level of practice will be able to attain level 4 of Qi gathering, or even reach level 5 of Qi gathering. Zhou Donghuang looked deeply at Freezing Wind and said, Actually, you can consume it privately to increase your level of practice. Zhou Donghuang knew very well how tempting the 1,000-year fruit was. Even if Freezing Wind did not consume the 1,000-year red fruit himself, he could give it to the Chu royal family, or even the imperial court of Yunyang country, and the Chu royal family and the imperial court of Yunyang country would not mistreat Freezing Wind. Young master must be joking. Freezing Wind shook his head, his eyes filled with determination. You've given Freezing Wind a new lease on life. Freezing Wind has no way to repay you. This 1,000-year red fruit is just a small token of my appreciation. It's rare for you to be so considerate. Zhou Donghuang nodded. Fortunately, you did not consume the 1,000-year fruit. Consuming it directly can only help one person increase their level of practice. If I use it as the main ingredient and combine it with some other medicinal ingredients to concoct a medicinal liquid, I will be able to concoct 10 bottles of medicinal liquid. Moreover, the medicinal effect of each bottle will not be any weaker than the medicinal effect of the medicinal liquid itself. Zhou Donghuang said. Freezing Wind was stunned by Zhou Donghuang's words. Didn't that mean that in the hands of his young master, a 1,000-year vermilion fruit was equivalent to 10,000-year vermilion fruits? When I'm done concocting the medicinal liquid, I'll give you a bottle. Zhou Dongwang said again. Young master, you should keep the medicinal liquid for yourself. This way, your level of practice will definitely increase greatly. Freezing Wind said. Zhou Dongwang shook his head. Concocting a medicinal liquid with the 1,000-year red fruit as the main ingredient will only be effective the first time. This is because after the first use, the body will develop a resistance to the medicine, and a second or even multiple uses will not help one's level of practice. As Freezing Wind left, Zhou Dongwang wrote a list for him to pass to Granny Lien. The medicinal ingredients on the list were the ones needed to concoct the medicinal liquid from the 1,000-year red fruit. They were not rare ingredients and could be easily gathered in the capital of Yunfeng Prefecture. That night, Granny Lien delivered the ingredients to Zhou Dongwang. Within an hour, Zhou Dongwang had concocted 10 bottles of medicinal liquid. With this medicinal liquid, I will definitely attain level 5 of Qi gathering in 3 days. After concocting the medicinal liquid, Zhou Dongwang called Fu over and gave him 5 bottles of medicinal liquid. Fu, of these 5 bottles of medicinal liquid, take 1 for yourself, and give the remaining 4 to my mother, Granny Lien, Freezing Wind, and Lu Qinghu. Young master, what medicinal liquid is this? Fu asked curiously. Aren't you about to attain level 2 of Qi gathering? Take this medicinal liquid and absorb all of its effects, and you will be able to attain level 3 of Qi gathering immediately. Zhou Dongwang smiled. Fu trusted Zhou Dongwang's words unconditionally, and because of this, he was stunned for a moment before recovering his wits, his face filled with joy. Thank you, young master. Fu knelt down and kowtowed in thanks before turning to leave. Of the 10 bottles of medicinal liquid, Zhou Dongwang had given Fu 5 bottles, and there were still 5 left. He consumed 1 bottle and began practicing, based on Zhou Dongwang's 1,000 years of practice. He knew very well how to absorb the effects of the medicinal liquid as quickly as possible. Therefore, in just 1 day and 2 nights, he had completely absorbed the effects of the medicinal liquid and successfully attained level 5 of Qi gathering. Moreover, it was not as simple as just attaining level 5 of Qi gathering. With my current level of practice, with the help of the Qi gathering elixir that increases the sensitivity to Qi by 7 times, I will be able to attain level 6 of Qi gathering in at most 3 months. Who would have thought that Freezing Wind would be so lucky to even obtain a 1,000-year red fruit? This is a pleasant surprise. After attaining level 5 of Qi gathering, Zhou Dongwang did not continue practicing and walked out of his room. Ever since the opening of the Magnolia Guild, he had rarely left his room. Usually, he ate and drank in his room, and apart from that, he slept and practiced. I don't think I've had the chance to stroll around the capital city of Yunfeng Prefecture. With this thought, Zhou Dongwang walked towards the main entrance of the Magnolia Guild, preparing to go out for a walk. As he passed by the living room, Zhou Dongwang heard a familiar voice speaking to his mother, Lin Lan. Sister Lan, I'm so envious of you for having such a good son. He's only 17, but he's already a level 5 adept, unlike this daughter of mine, who is only a year younger than Dongwang, but has not even attained level 1 of Qi gathering. Hearing this, Zhou Dongwang guessed who the speaker was. It was obviously the guild master of the Qingyun Guild in Ningping Town, Li Yun, who had been a good friend of his mother for many years. And Li Yun was also Li Rui's mother. Compared to Li Rui, he had a much better impression of Li Yun. Sister Yun, you flatter me. I haven't seen Xiao Rui for many years. She really has changed a lot and she's getting more and more beautiful. Lin Lan's voice followed. Aunt Lan, you're still as beautiful as ever. Hearing Li Rui's voice, Zhou Dongwang could not help but smile mockingly. He had never thought that Li Rui would have the cheek to come with her mother to look for his mother. Mother! Now, Zhou Dongwang was in no hurry to go out, and he strode directly into the living room. Aunt Yun. Standing beside Lin Lan, Zhou Dongwang smiled at Li Yun, who was standing with Li Rui. Dongwang, you're here at the right time, It's rare for your Aunt Yun to come to the prefecture capital. Let's have lunch with your Aunt Yun and sister Xiao Rui this afternoon. Lin Lan looked at Zhou Dongwang dotingly and smiled as she said this. All right. Zhou Dongwang nodded. Dongwang, Aunt Yun really did not expect that a child like you could attain level 5 of Qi gathering at the age of 17, even in the entire younger generation of the country of Yunyang. I'm afraid no one can compare to you. Li Yun smiled brightly as she praised him. As she spoke, Li Yun glanced at Li Rui beside her. Why are you just standing there, not greeting anyone? As soon as Li Yun finished speaking, Li Rui looked at Zhou Dongwang, blushing, and said bashfully, Big brother Dongwang. You flatter me. Zhou Dongwang replied casually, no longer as enthusiastic as he had been with Li Yun. Noticing Zhou Dongwang's indifference to Li Rui, Lin Lan frowned slightly. Dongwang, why are you speaking to your sister Xiao Rui like that? Mother, she doesn't like me, and I can't possibly stick my face to her cold buttocks, can I? Zhou Dongwang shook his head lightly. What's going on? At this time, Lin Lan also vaguely realized that something unpleasant must have happened between her son and Li Rui. Otherwise, based on her understanding of her son, he would not have been so rude. Aunt Lan, don't blame Big Brother Dongwang, it's all Xiao Rui's fault. Xiao Rui met Big Brother Dongwang earlier and angered him. Li Rui said with tears in her eyes, looking very pitiful. Just as Lin Lan's heart softened at Li Rui's appearance, Zhou Dongwang looked at Li Rui and smiled faintly. Li Rui, you and Aunt Yun must have set off from Ningping town together and just arrived at the prefecture capital. You haven't returned to the Li family yet, right? Li Rui started, not knowing why Zhou Dongwang would suddenly ask this. She and her mother had indeed just arrived at the prefecture capital. Some time ago, after learning that Lin Lan's Magnolia Guild had reopened in the prefecture capital, she had made a trip back to Ningping town and called her mother, Li Yun, to the prefecture capital to try to get close to Zhou Dongwang and mend their relationship under the guise of visiting Lin Lan. In Li Rui's opinion, with her beauty, if she took the initiative, she would definitely be able to make Zhou Dongwang grovel at her feet. You probably don't know 2 days ago, that first mistress of the Li family returned? Zhou Dongwang looked deeply at Li Rui and said unhurriedly, returning with her was the first young master of the Wu family, the governor's household of the intermediate prefecture, Guangling Prefecture, Wu Nanshuan. TSK, if she knew that you, a collateral descendant of the Li family, was actually hanging out with me, the person who killed her brother, she would probably expel you from the Li family. As he spoke, Zhou Dongwang chuckled. His words caused Li Rui's expression to change drastically. Even Li Yun, who was standing beside Li Rui, had a complete change of expression. Just as Li Rui and Li Yun's expressions changed, Granny Lian's voice came from outside the hall. Mistress, the preeminent Li family is here. Leading them is the chief of the Li family, Li Jingyu.